Hello everyone and welcome to the Reign of Emrys here on Dork Tales. I'm your Dungeon Master Kelly. I use he and him, and tonight I am very excited to be back with another episode of the Reign of Emrys here on Friday night. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Good? Do you want to elaborate on that? How good are we talking about?
Good. We're good.
Like 4 out of 10?
I'm like extremely stoked on my entire life. So
You just went flying.
I just went flying yesterday for the first time in 6 years.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have my next flight booked for next Thursday, and after that, I'll be fully checked out and legal to rent a plane.
Nice.
That's so
Rad.
cool.
Yeah, so I am super stoked. It was a great
awesome.
time.
That's
So
super cool.
soon I'll be able to fly as much as money permits.
So once every 6 years.
Once every 6 years.
Uh-huh.
Cries internally.
That's basically true.
Rise and
all right,
planes.
so I think what I'm going to do right now is that since you're already there, Mike, I'm going to start with you.
All right. Well, in that case, hey everybody, my name is Mike. I use they them pronouns, and tonight I am playing the lovely little artificer arterialist halfling Veritrix Soulstar, and she has a little flying mechanical rabbit named Crux.
Nice. All right. I'm going to go back that way and go to Robin. Robin, what are you excited about, and who are you?
Wow, that was a curveball question. I wasn't I'm excited that it's Emrys. I'm excited for games.
that's the only one. No one else is allowed to say that.
Aha! Yes, I got it. But yes, hi everyone. I'm Robin. I rock the she/they pronouns, and I'm playing Ivy, our tiefling blood hunter, Order of the Mutant class. And
and
she
you
just
should
melts with my
roll for
heart.
your new power today, if you haven't already.
Oh yeah, I should. Yes, I have not.
And I'm going to pass it over to Caitlin in 1 sec, real quick. Thank you for the host, DB3212. Really good to see you there. DB3212 does all sorts of Dragon Ball style D&D role playing, so go give them a follow if that's if you are down for, you know, next time on DB3212. How long does it take to charge up one of those games? Like, do you just never mind. Sorry. Dumb jokes. Caitlin, hi.
Hi. My name is Caitlin. I use she/her pronouns, and tonight I'll be playing Talfrin Pridery, the human barbarian of wild magic.
You have no idea how excited I am about that. Oh, and Caitlin,
It's pretty cool. Yes.
I was going to approach you on the side about this, away from everybody,
But now it's in front of everybody.
But now it's in front of everyone. So I was thinking I might ask this to the group. So everybody, last episode it was revealed that Talfrin has a very negative thing on his body. Basically, command brands, that command seals from Fate Zero type of thing, or just Fate series. But basically, if someone knows about them, they can make his life very, very complicated and very, very painful. Now, to me, when I look at this as a storyteller, game master, dungeon master type, I see this as a flaw and merit thing. Like, this is a negative that is in addition to the basic character details. So for that, I was considering giving Talfrin a small bonus to offset it. If you all were okay with this. And my ideas there were of 3 different varieties. One would be a story-based mechanical bonus that he would eventually get in the future. Another would be a pretty standard bonus, like an extra skill, an extra language, basically just like an extra class feature, little thing, like a little tweak, just a little like, hey, thanks for playing.
It's a little treat.
Yeah, a little treat, just, you know, as a snack.
Treat. Yeah,
And then the other one would just be whole hog and just be like, is it worth a feat? Is it? Is it though? So I'm wondering if people have an opinion on that.
I think it would depend on how often it's going to be used against
I was
him.
going to say,
Yeah.
I would say, how often are you as the DM going to use it against Talfrin?
3 times. At least 3 times, maybe 5 times.
Okay, not that we need to know exactly. Or anything.
I mean,
Well-
I kind of feel like a cool feat would be fun. Maybe,
Limit maybe some of.
yeah, so maybe
Like, give an option,
you two have to
like,
discuss
choose-
it together and decide on a feat that's kind of cool, but maybe not OP.
Yeah, like
Okay.
maybe give the option of like 3 feats that you think would be cool, but not too overpowering. But
Or
and
maybe
then Talfrin
just
can
the skill
choose.
proficiency.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
was about to say, skill proficiency might be good.
Yeah, because I really liked the idea just for flavor. Like I loved the idea, and just for character
Okay. Then I think,
opposition.
Well, is there a
Something
skill
against
that
it?
would be relevant to that kind of
you know what?
that you could have?
I think I got it actually. I think that just
Okay.
it was one of those things where I just needed to express it out loud, and then I understood exactly what I wanted to do. So
Or even an option of expertise once,
yeah, that something like that. Yeah.
which just doubles your skill proficiency. So that would be cool too.
Yeah.
That would just make you extra good at, say, athletics or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we can
endurance or
we'll
something.
we'll talk, Talfrin.
All right, that sounds good.
Now let's pass the ball up to Christine. Pass the ball up to
Of
Christine.
course, right as I took a drink.
Oh, sorry. I'm tweaking
Right as
people's
you're
video,
doing.
so I wasn't paying attention.
I had just taken a sip of coffee. But hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Claudette Belmont tonight. She is our human noble who is a wizard blade singer. And she's very sweet.
All right. And finally, over in the corner,
Hello.
it's Amy.
Yes, hi. I'm Amy. I use she, her, or they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Leiden and Merov, our cleric of the grave, ASMR.
You're also plating them.
Plating, yes.
Yes,
Bleh.
just serving
Words.
them up. What are words? All right. So, if this is your first time tuning in, the Reign of Emrys is our homebrew. I can't speak tonight, guys. This is gonna be a fun game. Sorry, I did like an 8-hour like fiction binge today where I just wrote for 8 hours straight. So my words exist in a document with my editor right now. So, So, Reign of Emrys is a homebrew campaign set in our world of Elos. This is the same setting that you would see in Shards of Nirn, our Wednesday night game, as well as The Secret of Hexeter House, and a little smidgen in our Curse of Strahd game, even. There are references to it spread around our other games as well, as far-reaching as things like, there might have been a little reference in Werewolf the Forsaken, but there were several references in Rime of the Frostmaiden, if you've been watching that, as well as Candlekeep Mysteries. It's almost like I'm elbowing this into the multiverse in everything I do, because that is how I roll. So if you are tuning in for the first time, this game is set in the Emrisian Empire, which is an ever-expanding empire in the southern hemisphere of Elos that is kind of a techno-magic... we'll go with utopia. It's a topia of some kind, and it is expanding outward, kind of consuming all of its neighbors in its quest for continental dominance, and then probably world dominance. You know how these things go, and is kind of vaguely equivalent to, say, like the Roman Empire, with a smattering of the British Empire in there, and a little smattering of the American Empire. But hey, a lot of that entire trifecta there. So roughly it is equivalent to, say, like the Victorian era back to the late Renaissance, kind of in there. I think the only thing we don't have is cars. We do have mech suits. It was a good trade. Because honestly, what would you rather take to work? Right?
Yeah, I'd go mech suit every day.
You
Right?
would, right?
Right? I'm kind of sad that we didn't go that route. We went cars instead.
Oh,
Do
dude.
mech suits walk themselves, or do you have to walk in the drive them properly? Like what type of mech suits are we talking here?
We're talking.
How much effort do I have to put in to get to work with the mech suit versus the car?
I mean, it depends on the model, really. It's like with a Tesla; it's got self-driving features. You could have one that's self-walking. Speaking of self-walking, I just got the book for Animal Adventures in the other day, the one that allows you to play awakened dogs and cats, and I cannot express how pleased it makes me. That book is canonical in our world, so I'll show you during the chat break. So with that, we should probably start hopping into game. The characters are playing emissaries of the Empire who have been sent off to the western lands of the continent for a multitude of reasons. One, to deliver a letter; another, to go and fix one of the imperial telescopes over on the coast of Tyrannia, territorial province. And then eventually all of them are headed down to a small mining town called Cordust, where there is a strange alchemist, scientist person who is doing horrible experiments and is enemy number one of the Empire right now, or is at least on the list. Your characters recently traveled through Terranel, the seat of Tyrannia, and encountered a strange man named Zeke Calder. You also acquired some new gear, met with the Imperial Magus, Lankea Quarto, and defended her from a strange, angelic-looking man who had been apparently sent from this scientist down in Cordust. From there, you received a stipend to go and hunt her down, and will eventually have a bit of a qualm on who manages to return her head, because Ivy has been sent to retrieve it as well. So we're going to begin right now. I would like it if you keep me abreast of Hurt Them More and things like that in the Zoom chat.
You saw you have one, right?
I have one, yeah. I'm going to go put that on the side. I'll use D4s.
Looks like I still have a determination from last time.
Yep. And
I don't have one.
I think someone just bought one for Claudette.
Yeah. And
Yes.
Bricarius just redeemed a something good happens.
oh, something good happens.
Aw, yay.
Yay.
All right, I will leave that. With that, just a quick reminder that Roll20 is open, so if you want to listen to music, hop over to there. And with that, why don't we go ahead and begin our game. Pardon me. There we go. You leave Terranel behind you, hopping aboard the carriage driven by Talfrin's former acquaintance, Mira Rosk, a half-orc of some ill repute. She begins to drive you down toward the coast, 3 horses pulling at the carriage with some vigor. The carriage rolls across the rocky terrain of Tyrannia. This is an old and hardy land. And you're very fortunate that these are sure-footed horses. And the wheels of this carriage are reinforced, studded, and grip the landscape with harsh, strong motions. Inside of the wide carriage, you still find yourself somewhat cramped. There are 5 of you inside at the moment. Dork, Ivy, Claudette, Very, and Leodin. Talfrin is sitting up on the front next to his former friend Mira. As they begin to converse, you can hear the sounds of their voice echoing through the little panel behind the driver's seat that can be slid open from the interior or exterior to offer warnings. The inside of this carriage is somewhat musty. It smells of mothballs. The seats are comfortable enough. The cushions worn low. A thick brocade pattern imprinted on them in gold. The green of the cushions casts a strange hue inside against the pine. And as tightly packed as you are, it feels a little bit like a coffin. There are a pair of curtains blocking the windows on either side of the doors, which are on the left and the right. And you will hear the sound of the wheels rolling over the countryside. What are you talking about as you go?
Claudette is scribbling away in her book. Carefully.
I think Leodin might be taking a nap.
Okay.
She might be like leaning on Claudette though. Or she's in the corner.
If you're
going
gonna take a nap, Claudette will have pushed you into place that you lie on her lap, and she'll use you as a desk.
Okay, yeah, sure. Fine.
Desk Leodin.
Yeah.
We both get what we want.
Yeah.
It's true. As you head across the countryside, what are Ivy and Very doing?
Very's probably fairly quiet. Actually, she's probably still not feeling too great after her night of excessive imbibing. So she's probably just kind of just chilling up against the edge or something, or whoever is closest. Yeah, she's just kind of being quiet.
Okay. And what's Ivy doing?
Which is weird.
Ivy's probably like going between like checking out the window every once in a while, like pulling the curtain back to see like where they're going, because she's kind of interested because this is a new area, and then like awkwardly looking at, but like talking to Dirk / like carving into her extra bits of leather, which she does when she's nervous. She carves patterns into it. So she's probably working on a new set.
Dirk, to his credit, is flipping through a rather threadbare secondhand book that he acquired in town, and as he's doing so, you might catch him. What's your passive perception?
Not great. Let me pull up. It's 11.
11. You may catch him occasionally glancing up at you whenever you think that you're not being observed, or when he thinks that you won't notice. But for the most part, he seems fairly content to flip through his book with the occasional flicker of eyes up at you.
Now, I'm wondering, like, I'm guessing, like, the carriage is, like, kind of like bench and bench.
It is bench and bench facing each other, yes.
So who's kind of sitting where? I'm kind of wondering, like, if Ivy sat beside Dirk or not, or if, like, Leiden and Claudette are on one bench, so that means the three of us are on another bench.
How are you sitting?
Well, it's definitely Leiden and Claudette. And then is it Dirk sitting, like, on the edge? And then is it, like...
I was figuring Dirk would probably be beside Claudette and Leiden.
Okay, yeah.
So that way it'd be easier for him to sneak a glance over at Ivy across from him.
That would be particularly tightly compacted, though.
That's true.
Especially if Leiden is like lying down for.
That's true. Very would be a much better pick size-wise to go in center. 3. Yeah.
No one said we planned this part, though.
No.
It might be very uncomfortable for Dirk.
Well, speaking of very uncomfortable, so Very, you are kind of, I'm going to say that you're kind of wedged between Ivy and Dirk. Kind of just like leaning back, probably facing forward, because even a thrill seeker with a hangover does not want to ride backwards necessarily.
That's fair, yeah.
So, as you are rolling across the countryside, you're going to notice that outside there is a low-hanging mist. The closer you get to the coast, it clings to everything. In the distance, small hamlets and thorps crop up, like centigraphs on the landscape, like monuments to civilization. But as you are glancing around, Claudette, what is your passive perception?
12.
12, okay. You are going to start to notice that many of these small towns appear abandoned. As you roar past a small one, you'll actually notice that most of the roofs are completely caved in. The thatching, where the roofs are thatched, is completely decomposed. It doesn't seem like anyone's been there in 3 or 4 years. And as you head across the countryside, you'll all begin to get a sense that this old country here has long been abandoned. Meanwhile, in the front, Talfrin, what are you two doing? What are you two up to?
Probably making a little bit of conversation, probably some awkward conversation, especially if she's got stuff to say to him. And actually, I realized that last time I got a little bit flustered on screen, but I think she would probably be like way taller than him. I was like, would she be taller than him? Yeah, she would be way taller than him.
Well, how tall are you?
He's only 5'11".
Oh, he's only 5. I thought he was like 6'3".
No, yeah, he's only 5'11", but he still does tower over the rest of the party.
That's fair. Well, why don't we just do this the easy way then? And can you do me a favor and roll her height?
Okay.
Let's find out what it would be.
Want me to do that?
I want you to roll me 2d10.
Okay.
And re-roll any 1s or 2s because you said she's tall.
Tall. Roll. Oh, what the heck? Oops, I did the wrong one. Did the wrong one.
It's okay.
2 and 8.
2 and 8.
Yep.
I said re-roll the 2s.
Oh, sorry, missed that. Sorry. 5 and 8.
13. All right. So you know what? She's a respectable. She's just around 6'1".
Okay.
So she's got about 2 inches on you there, and fairly thickly built, unless you want her to be taller than 6'1".
I was thinking like 6'4", but like
6'4". Well, she's 6'5" in boots.
Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Perfect.
All right.
And of course, she doesn't take those off. So.
Well, no, you don't want to walk through the sludge with the rest of them.
Right? Of course.
They're good boots.
Sorry, I just heard a weird noise at my door. I'm gonna quickly just check it.
All right.
Okay. That's where you don't check it, and you're like,
that sounds
that's a weird noise. That sounds like I shouldn't go check it.
Well,
Guess we're never gonna see Robin again.
Hey, there's an open spot in game, guys. So if you want.
all good? You good?
Yep. It was my landlord shut his front door apparently really loudly, so I just, my landlord just saw me in full tiefling. It's great.
Gotcha. Nice.
That's okay.
Yes.
The police have seen me in full
It's always
Katarina
at
before.
first.
So.
Yeah, no, it was fine.
Oh,
He just shut his front door weirdly, and it kind of like rattled apparently my other door. So it's all good.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Right.
All right.
Sorry.
So by the way, posture check, everybody.
Oh.
All right. As you continue along the way, she shoots some looks at you, Talfrin. You're a long way from home.
Yeah. Well, decided to hit the road, see what else is out there. You can't stay in one place forever. You should know that.
Yeah, I know. It was funny to see you, though. I didn't think that anybody else would be crazy enough to try to head down the coast.
Well, I like a little adventure. You should know that too.
I do know that, but there's a difference between adventure and well, what this is.
Yeah, I got into a rough spot and I needed to get out of there, and found this group of folks, and we've been hanging out together.
Well, don't worry, baby. I got you. And she smiles and reaches down and pats the thing that's sitting between you on the front step as you barrel down the landscape. An immensely thick repeating crossbow.
Oh, I know you do. And he'll pat her hand on top of it.
You trying to flirt with me?
Do you like it? Or has it been so long you don't know what you like anymore?
Oh, Tally, I like everything. You know that. I was just thinking whether or not the horses knew the way enough for me to do this. And she is going to just put her hand directly on your sword. Take that as you will. So she's gonna put her hand on the she's gonna put her hand on the hilt of your sword, as it's kind of sitting across your lap. I guess it would have to be on this.
I guess it would have to be, yeah.
And she's just gonna slowly run her fingers along the handle and hilt of your blade. This is bigger than I remember it.
Well, I thought you had a good memory. Anyway, it is funny to see you again. It's a big place. Well, it's good to see you, though.
Well, I'm happy to help you out.
Thanks.
But if we get into much trouble, I'm gonna book it.
Of course. No worries.
Do you know much about this area?
Oh, really vaguely. Sal didn't tell me a whole lot. He never really tells me a whole hell of a lot, but we didn't have much time.
It's old country. It's wild and untamed. It was, the last one to really fall to the Empire. A lot of the locals say that they wouldn't have actually fallen had the elves not pulled out support and reinforced Avelsini. That's why you don't see very many elf types around here.
Gotcha.
But ever since the Empire took over, the moors and the mountainsides used to be a lot more well patrolled. There's the problem, though, when the army is killed off. There are a lot of legends out here. Kind of like where you're from, actually. The Fae Courts.
Sorry. Is she speaking loud enough that they can hear in the back?
No, she's speaking like almost like kind of just in your ear.
Oh, okay. Then, okay, never mind. He was gonna open it if she wasn't, but if she's definitely like not trying to, then he won't. Never mind.
Oh, okay. Well, she's just kind of casually conversing with you, so you can totally, like, if you open it, they'll be able to hear.
Yeah,
I'll say Ivy will eavesdrop if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, if it's good info about the area, he'll slide it open. He won't do it he won't do it discreetly, but he'll slide it open so that they can hear. And then if she objects, he'll close it. But
anyway, the area is a lot more dangerous now. There aren't patrols going out, so whatever influence the Fae Courts have are still out here. And then, of course, there's all the battlefields and all the trauma. That shit solidifies like gelatin in a pan. I've got some stuff for it, but everyone's going to have to be careful. And when we camp, if we have to camp, you do exactly what I say. Let me put up my totems. Let me put up my wards. And you don't go beyond the limit of the firelight. Understood?
yes, ma'am.
This does mean that if any of you have weak constitutions, you might want to invest in a curtain or something. Unless you want to get real personal. But. So where we're going right now, we're heading over toward Mount Presidio. There's a lighthouse on the coast. Right next to a little... It's not even really a town. But a place called Eagle's Rise. From there, we can head over to Mount Presidio proper. It's weird, but you'll get it when we get there. It's this well, it's an observatory on a mountain jutting out of the middle of the ocean. We'll have to go to the lighthouse and then take a gondola across. It's, from everything I've seen, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. So, of course, you'll love it.
Ivy will glance over at Dork talking about the gondola, being like, uh-oh, he doesn't like heights.
Well,
hey, Tal,
Yeah?
what's the name of that road? I'm sorry for eavesdropping. What's the name of that roadhouse that you were mentioning? The Cockatrice, she says. It's a nice enough place. Well, someone should watch all of our belongings. I probably should stick back and do that, just in case. Yeah? You're lost, little man.
Idea.
Yeah. If that's what you want to do, buddy, that's fine.
Well, y'all get some rest in there. We're going to be in about... probably take us about 3 hours to get to the cockatrice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you need anything to help you nap, just let me know. I've got a couple of vials of laudanum up here. You want one, Tal?
Yeah, I'm okay, right? Sorry. Yeah, if we got a bit of time.
Absolutely. She'll reach down and pull one out and hand it to you. It's a small vial that tastes absolutely abysmal. It tastes like a strange, well, it is a mix of opium and cannabidiol and a few other substances that cling and cloy to your throat as you swallow it. All in all, it's about 3 ounces worth of liquid. And as you swallow it, I need you to make me a wisdom save.
Oh, a wisdom save.
Yeah.
Okay. I suppose I can do this.
Sounds good.
I got
Can
a
you, though?
13.
Okay, a 13. Sounds good. Can you do me a favor and roll
Yes.
me D100?
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. I got a 23.
Okay.
All right.
As you are under the influence of this, which is going to be, and I need one more roll from you real quick. I'm sorry to ask this. Can you make me a con save this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, 18 on the dice.
Perfect. So that means this
Which
will
I
be...
have proficiency in this, so that's a 24.
Okay, so the negative
Do
effects
that one.
the negative effects of this are going to last less than an hour.
Okay.
But as you are riding across, you're going to start seeing little floating, almost mirages in the corner of your vision. It's going to make you quite jumpy. You're going to actually look at the rolling hillscape, and as you do, you swear that one of those houses for a moment seems to sprout legs, like a giant thatched spider.
Do you see that?
Yeah, a lot of the towns have emptied out. Monster attacks.
Yeah.
Your friend's a blood hunter, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, their order used to come through here sometimes, clean them out, but they're pretty rare. Few and far between. Could have made a pretty penny, though. Why, what'd you see?
Yeah. Oh, just nothing. It's all good.
In the meanwhile, though, Talfrin, in addition to that, you're going to have 9 temporary hit points until you go to sleep.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because laudanum's great in my game, guys. Always take it. Get
If
madness
offered.
effects and temporary hit points.
Perfect. Oh,
Don't
I got a
actually take
spell
laudanum in
for
real life.
that.
Don't do it.
No, don't do it.
Don't do it. You will become addicted immediately.
Well, that's because it's opium and alcohol.
And cannabidiol. Don't forget, it's THC, opium, and alcohol at
Just
least.
a perfect
It's
cocktail.
mainly opium and alcohol.
And in real life, it won't give you temporary hit points.
No.
That's
It'll
not
take
true.
away the hit points.
No, that
What?
is not
I've been
true
lied
because you won't
to.
feel the damage.
No, it'll just knock you out.
Wait.
So they're temporary. There you go.
Yeah,
is
they
I don't know
are
if that counts as
temporary.
temporary hit points. I think
Alright.
that just
There we
means you don't notice how much damage you've taken until you're dead.
It's
Oh.
I mean-
And then they fade
but then
away.
you don't-
So you know what?
and the chat is saying now that it was legal at one point. Yes, but so was Coca-Cola back when, well, it has Coca in the name, guys. You can suss it out. And it was designed to be drank warm. So hey, there you go.
Ew.
Oh, that's gross.
That's why Coke tastes better warm than Pepsi does. Pepsi was designed to be drank cold. But Coke is fine warm.
Right.
It's
I
better
do remember
cold,
that.
but
Yeah, I
it's
remember hearing that.
fine cold. If you have to drink one warm,
I mean, I think isn't Coke from a time when
There wasn't really refrigeration.
Refrigeration didn't really exist in common homes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so, or it was very expensive.
It was. Usually you get ice from like expeditions and caves and things like that, which was a great way to get all sorts of other neurotoxins and parasites. All right, but that's enough of that. Let's forget that like half of us are like historians and the other half are freaking nerds.
We're all friggin' nerds.
Yeah, we're all nerds. Just half of us are also historian
guys,
nerds.
guys, we're dorks.
True. And
I'm
have,
multi-class.
we all have tails.
Fair enough.
You proceed to go over the landscape, and before long, you have a pleasant conversation, and at the end of it, you roll up to a wide split in the landscape. Here, there is it looks like a mountain had been raised at one point, and then someone blew a hole right through the center of it, leaving a massive canyon that winds ever forward. At the end of it, you can see glittering lights, and emerging between the two clefts several miles ahead of you, you see a tall, spiraling lighthouse, silhouetted by the setting sun and an immense mountain. When I say immense, it looks like the hand of a god, jutting out of the water and reaching toward the sky. The palm and blade of the fingers pushing upward, ever toward the stars. So much so that as the sun dips in the horizon, it falls behind the hand, casting the entire world into premature darkness, even as you can see the orange light spill around the side. As you approach the canyon, the horses will begin to resist the motion.
Question, Kelly.
Yes.
So the area like where we started, that would be more like plains, right? Like the surrounding area was more kind of flat versus mountains,
it was.
You say?
I would say it's Rocky Mountain versus Green Mountain. So the original area that you went was more like the south of Italy. So rocky coastal. This is more like Scotland that you're in right now. Old bony mountains that or Rocky Mountain territory.
Yeah.
Like when you fall off one of the cliffs back home, you probably are falling near water. If you fall off one of the cliffs here, you're falling on moss and rock.
Okay.
Unless you're right on the coast, and then it's both. Hey.
Okay, just because, I was just wondering, because probably, like, Ivy's is probably, like, very, very interesting to her, so she's, like, flat against the window, like, looking out the way at the mountains and stuff, because she's like, this is so cool.
Mira is going to lean down and tap into the side of the carriage. This is it's going to be loud and bright, just warning you. And she reaches behind her. The top of the carriage has a compartment in it. And as she pulls it aside, you will see that she has an immense blunderbuss inside of it. It looks like a gun with a tremendous like trombone horn at the end of it. She checks it for shells, raises it into the air, and says, "You're going to want to cover your ears, honey." She fires. A mote of red...
Leon's gonna jerk up at that.
A mote of red light soars into the air like a firework and hovers in the center of the canyon, dripping little streaks of mercury and copper from it as the flare slowly dissipates in air. The horses move forward, ready and used to this noise. As Mira loads up another shot, she says, "Here, just keep the reins steady," and hands them to you.
All right.
She pulls again and fires. And as she does, the entire canyon begins to light up with this sickly red glow. And anybody who's looking outside can make me a perception roll.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because by this point, Very is probably awake and, a human being again.
A halfling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, 21. Said
What was it?
perception?
Perception roll, yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
19.
11. I rolled a
10.
4. We're starting off great.
I
All
rolled
right.
a 9. I got a 10, man. Ivy's just too not perceptive.
I mean, maybe just distracted.
It's
She's
true.
probably a little distracted.
As you glance outside, those of you who got a 14 or higher are going to be able to see that there is something moving in the darkness beyond the edge. Beyond the edge of these motes of light, these flares that hang almost impossibly in the air like balloons. These creatures are spindly-legged. They remind you of spiders, mixed with something else. 6 legs and a lengthy tail skitter in the darkness, but their legs don't end like legs should in feet, but in these blade-like claws. And you'll hear this noise around you as the horses push ever forward toward the lights ahead of you. Those of you who here got above a 15. Okay. This is what you will get a glance of on the edge of the flare light.
Claudette's gonna take a quick little sketch of what she thinks she saw and start. What is that?
One moment, please. You are going to see that beyond the edge of the flare light, there are at least 10 of them.
Well, it's what?
Wow.
Claudette's gonna start taking notes on it.
You can make
It's
me an
searching.
you can make me an Arcana roll.
What
Yes,
did you-
please.
What did you see?
That would be 18.
An 18, that's a Kruthic. It's a young one, actually. They get much, much larger. Adult Kruthics are the size
How do
of a
you spell
human.
that?
K-R-U-T-H-I-K. Or Kruthic, depending. They're monstrosities. They hatch from eggs and grow. These are about the size of dogs, but you can see in the shadows at least one the size of a small horse. They move with a preternatural speed and begin to burrow and climb up the sides of the canyons, heading into dark holes that hide their forms. All around you, though, you can hear that noise, of their bony, blady claws striking into the rock face.
Oh, geez, those are pretty things.
Kruthics, there's all sorts of shit that's out here. Well,
Gotcha.
this place isn't as pretty during the daytime, but this is Torchlight Canyon. Settlers called it that because, well, those things don't like the light.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha.
And with that, you'll push through. On the other side, there's a steep rise, and you'll find yourself banking back and forth along switchback trails. The horses are happy for the relief, even though now it's upward struggle. They pull, their muscles tensing against their slick fur. Pardon me, I guess, is it fur on a horse? It's not really,
It's hair.
it is hair, right?
Yeah.
You can see that there's signs of exhaustion on the side of the hair, and that smell is thick in the air of horse sweat. But you make it. It takes about a half hour of climbing up into the mountains. But as you do, at the top, you will find a small... I could say coat. Yes, you're right. I don't do horses, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm happy to learn. What is
Horse
it?
girl, I'll correct.
What is it that gets on their hair? Is it a froth? What is it? What is the when they've ran too hard?
I mean, it's usually just sweat, but usually it's
Yeah.
called like the froth.
I thought it was froth,
But
I
that's
didn't.
generally at the mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, they froth at the mouth.
Yeah, they froth at the mouth, or they kind
of
of get foamy.
Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't want to say it though, and then like it sounds stupid.
But
so.
they themselves get sweaty.
Lather, yeah.
Yeah, they get sweater.
Yeah.
Okay. Before long, though, you will be able to make it to the top, where you see that there is a small thorp of a dozen houses ringing the top of this mountain. A lighthouse jutting off of the far cliff over the ocean, which stretches beautifully all around you, illuminated by the last rays of the falling sun, save for the knife-like shadow of Mount Presidio that stretches even over this town. Now, this town, as you ride through its front gate, more of an overhang, really, at this point, although there are a set of doors wide open, wood ones, and a pair of town guards who glance up at you lazily from a poker game that they're playing nearby on a stool. It's lit by actual gas lanterns. And in fact, as you are there, those of you with keen noses who have spent a lot of time by the coast will actually smell the scent of burning whale oil. Something that you don't actually get much of back in the East. And before long, you will pull over in front of a raucous roadhouse with the name The Cockatrice carved onto a dangling sign with a creature of that name there as well. The paint on the cockatrice itself is long since faded, and you can see that someone has defaced the sign on one side, scratching out the "Atrice," proclaiming this is just the Cock Roadhouse.
That's so clever.
Charming.
A pair of old-timers, a man and a woman, are sitting on the front porch, working through some old chewing tobacco and spitting into a cistern.
Yuck, Kelly. Yuck.
Tell him
I was just trying to do the sound effect, and that happened. So
he'll tap the carriage. We're here. Time to get out.
I'm method, baby.
They didn't know.
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Very is going to hop out of the carriage.
All right. Hopping out of the carriage, you can see that the roadhouse is in decent swing. It has I'd say probably about 24 people inside of it, eating and drinking. Quite a few sounds ushering out from it. The sound of plates striking tables, the sound of someone playing a bit of music in the background. Something lively.
How close to like actual dark do you think it is? Like, is it like the beginning of sunset or like getting near the end?
So it's right at the end of sunset right now. I'd say it's about 8 o'clock at night right now.
Okay.
The ride here took about 4.5 hours.
Okay. I was gonna go look at the sunset and the ocean, but if it's almost dark, then probably we'll go inside.
Okay. Actually, never mind. It's not something lively. It's something a little melancholy as you walk through the doors, which swing open and behind you as you pass in. The bartender looks up at you. I'm doing another half orc. There we go. The bartender looks up at you from his stool. A rather stout halfling with a pair of mutton chops that jut down along his cheeks. And as you enter, conversation turns to you and stops. And then continues as they finish appraising you, at least for the moment. Who walks inside? What's everybody doing?
Very is gonna head on in.
Okay.
Yeah, Talfrin's just gonna right inside.
She's just gonna go right to the bar.
Ivy's gonna like confidently kind of walk in and just kind of like head up a little bit, just trying to put on a bit of an air, a bit of a cockiness to her.
Leighton's just gonna stick with Claudette.
The bartender looks at you, wipes the bar, and then wipes his brow with the same rag, pushing aside the old curly comb-over that cemented to his sweaty forehead. He's wearing a waistcoat made of crushed red velvet that's stained from cleaning up beer, and you can see that his bare halfling feet, plainly visible behind the bar, and as you look at them, you can see he even flexes his toes comfortably. You're coming in for the night? What'll it be?
Well, I'm actually here to get across to the telescope.
You headed to Mount Presidio.
Yeah.
Aye. You're gonna want to speak to Harry Lunklin
Where might I find him?
at the lighthouse.
Oh, perfect.
They're both managed by the same authority.
Okay, fantastic. Until then, do you have anything to eat?
Aye. You got coin?
Yeah. What do you have?
I've got wheat porridge.
Huh?
And wheat ale to go with it. With a little bit of salt. A big 3 copper.
That'll do.
Aye. I've also got another deal up right now. Boiled watercress and stewed leek with a mug of mead or stout. 4 copper.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I'd like to do that.
You'd like to do that instead of the other one?
Yeah. Let's just get one, and then she'll turn to whoever else is with her at the bar and be like, "Oh, so what do you want? What do you all want?"
You're all here for the lighthouse.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get the
well.
same.
Yes, we're accompanying Very.
Aye.
Which I think Claudette will have kind of... Can I roll something to see how aware she is, or maybe what she's been taught in school about not advertising who she is and what she is right away?
Sure. You can make me a common sense roll. Let's say that's a charisma roll.
Okay. Let's try my purple dice.
Charisma is about knowing when to shut up too.
17.
17? So, probably not here.
Yeah. Okay, so I think before even getting out of the carriage then, Claudette would have probably tucked away, like, or covered whatever has her house crest, etc. on it. And whatever kind of officially looking magus robes or crests or whatever she wears for that, if anything.
Yes, Amy.
In a similar vein, would it make sense? Would a cleric of the orphan be a
Welcome most
normal
places,
sight?
actually.
Okay, so she'll probably
Wandering
leave her
clerics
stuff out.
are like wandering preachers in the Old West. There's always a place for them, usually a bed for them, especially if you can heal somebody from like a wagon accident or mining. There's always work, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So she'd probably know about that, and to the bartender mention that as part of our, if we're staying the night, is there someone who needs any assistance, anything we can help with?
Yeah, I will ask if there's any work around, because she's quite poor to do.
What kind of work are you looking for? You're looking for healing work. Aye?
If there's someone who needs it.
Aye, there's,
Or if anyone needs right said.
rights would be good. There's one on the edge of town, actually. The Rossi estate. An old gnome. She got hurt a few days ago. Came back through torchlight too late. The Crothics got her.
I see.
She's quite hurt. If you want to go there, it might be a place to go.
Sure.
And you're looking for what kind of work are you looking for?
I can offer many services. What is needed? I can even wash dishes.
Hey. That'll do. I could use another person in the back washing it.
I'd be happy to lend a hand.
That'll cover your meal. You're staying here for the night.
I believe that was the intention.
Plan. Yeah.
Does the gondola work at nighttime, or is it a daytime operation?
The gondola works when it's operated. If you go over there and find Harry, he's in charge of it. He'll take you over when you show up, I imagine, unless he's already up there right now. But I hear if the thing ain't working.
How long is the trip on the gondola?
A while. About an hour.
Fair. Okay. Well, I should probably go over in the morning then.
Your call. Mornings here pretty bright though. Wouldn't it be hard to fix a telescope in the middle of the day?
No, I was thinking that too. Aren't those
Yeah,
like a nighttime
fair.
thing?
Well, I mean, you can fix the things while, because you're not using them while you're fixing them, but you use them at night.
Or
But-
do you need to like test it?
Yeah, that's
Wouldn't
fair.
it just collect a lot of light though, and like, don't they have a lot of mirrors and stuff?
Yeah.
Don't you run the risk of hurting yourself then with sunlight?
You just don't look into the sun.
I think that's
I'm
pretty
new-
solid advice.
Yes, but
How many rooms you want?
Well, Dirk and I will share one again.
3. So one
3?
for us, one for you.
Ivy, do you want to share again?
Like quickly glance over at Dirk, but like try and make not make every not noticeably, but like she will like flick her eyes over.
All right. Well, that's a few rooms. That's all I've got left. Actually, he's gonna take a glance at y'all real quick. 2 gold a night per room. And as he says that, he's gonna look right over at Claudette's fancy boots and nice outfits.
Can I roll persuasion? That's an awful lot.
You may. You may. However, given the remote location, I'm going to give you disadvantage.
Okay.
He's kind of got a monopoly.
Well, that was a 19 and an 18, so 22.
Well. What kind of remote out here? You not got many options. You can't go stay at the 4 Elements. But you clear me out and you do my dishes for me. Let's call it even at 4.
That sounds wonderful. I will pass along the good word.
Yeah. Just pass along you the gold. And sign whatever X you'd like to in the book. And he signs, or he hands over one of the, he signs over the sign-in book. Where you see there's a bunch of fake names signed in there. Obviously fake names, by the way. Like, I can't even come up with them fast enough for this. But like, you know, like, I think one of them's like fart my pants off.
Bend over.
Yeah, Benjamin Dover, Claire Smash, you know, things like that.
I think Claudette's just gonna try and sign like first initial, middle initial.
Okay. First initial, middle initial, and he'll hold out the hand for your gold. You know, there's a little bit of highway robbery, but honestly, it's a pretty low highway robbery given the amount of money you've been given. So.
Yeah, Claudette will pay for it.
So it was 4 total.
Yep. And the chat is going crazy with names.
I love it.
Of course. Blast hard cheese.
These are amazing.
Like,
Huge
look-
ass, yep.
Honestly, like, look at some of these. There are some
Mona Moore.
ridiculous names in this book. Like, seriously, there's Eileen Wright. There's
Okay, I love that one. Slam McRunfast.
Slam McRunfast, Zeno Rightwing. Like, these are really dumb names.
What a weird fake name.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't even be that surprised.
Okay.
Well.
And with that, he'll direct you to a table and say that I'll bring over some of your food in a minute. Which of you are having the stew and which one of you are having the porridge?
Oh, the stew.
Stew, please.
Porridge is fine for me.
Love porridge.
Do you want the mead, the ale, or grumpily like checks his stock? The mead, the ale, or the stout?
Do you have water?
Well, I was gonna
We're
kick
next
lead
to
him
the
under the table
ocean,
a little
lass.
bit and look at what's on the shelf and kind of pick whichever looks cleanest.
You think that the beer is probably pretty clean. Honestly, the mead's probably the thinnest.
All right.
Yeah, I think Claudette doesn't not want high alcohol, but she's also not willing to trust their water.
That's true.
That's fair.
That's
She
fair.
kind of wonders what's in it.
All right.
What
well,
isn't in it?
with that, he'll
Exactly.
he'll serve you up at the table, and a moment later, Mira will come in, having secured the horses. She orders her own food and sits just at the edge of the table. It's a nice big round one that you found yourselves at. Kind of about not as far away from you as she can be, I guess. You know, still with you, but she's definitely like not trying to intrude on your group. What do y'all talk about?
Claudette's gonna move over towards her and start asking her questions about like the area and all that sort of stuff. Kind of what she'd been talking about with Talfrin. So just going more, trying to
What do you want to
go
know?
more in depth and writing notes.
Sure, but she'll provide
she-
information. If you have any specific questions, let me know.
Not really. I'm just flavor.
One of the things that she does tell you, though, is that the way that you're going to be headed south toward Cordist, the reason that you're headed down there is that Cordist mines are... I mean, it's basically like calling a mine diamond dust. It's named after a substance called core, C-H-O-R. Core is a magically... or an innately magically inert substance. The Empire uses it for things, both... Depending on how it's processed, it either absorbs magic or refracts magic. Fantastic in magic tattoos, great in armor, if you have enough of it to spray on.
Sorry, what was the full name? It was just core?
Core, yeah. There are a lot of different terms for it, but that's what it's basically become known as. I think that some other realms have probably called it things like Cordalian or Cordalin, but here it's just core. It's a mineral that is particularly able to bend magic, similarly to the way that certain substances are able to bend and absorb light. However, it's pretty toxic, and miners have to be very careful. To get there, though, one of the last outposts of the Turanian military was to the south, when the Empire crushed it. The only way down towards Cordist is by going directly through that along the rail lines. The rail lines are safe, but trains rarely run down there anymore. It's too expensive. So, instead, you'll be taking the carriage there. It's going to be dangerous, because the battlefields... Well, the dead don't always stay dead.
Is it a common occurrence for the area?
A little too common, if you ask me. But
Have
that's
you
what
stayed down in Cordis much?
I've been there once or twice. I do most of my work bringing folk around the edge of Avelsini. But this was a contract I couldn't turn down. Mostly I just ferry people from Tyrania to Venkin or down to Weislang.
Have you heard anything about Kazluxia?
The military fort?
Yeah, any rumors about the situation?
Yeah. I heard that a bunch of the troops got shipped out recently.
Like, removed?
I hear the Empire's keeping it kind of hush-hush. But, could be troop movements trying to flank around to the Cadoganians, but I'm not sure. I think that, at the very least, what's happening is the Kazluxia is probably about half-staffed right now. Maybe they're swapping out, bringing in some reinforcements from back east, bringing in fresh faces. I'm not really sure, though. Why would you hear?
Nothing recently, which is why I was asking. I just knew it was one of the fights that they were one of the fronts they were fighting on.
Seems like there's a lot of fronts these days.
I can't hear you.
Seems like there's a lot of fronts these days.
That's true.
I'm not coming in quiet for everybody, am I? Okay, cool.
Me.
I'm having problems with my headphones. My volume is at 100 and I can't hear shit.
That's really weird.
So my computer is being a pain in the ass.
Okay.
So I don't know why, but there's nothing I can do besides restarting.
We can do that during the break.
Does it help to do that?
Sometimes restarting just tends to reset all the sound options for some reason.
That's weird.
Gotcha.
It tends to be when I have used speakers all day and then switch to headphones. It has problems. So.
All right.
So, after dinner, who wants to come out to the telescope?
I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I also offered to wash some dishes, so maybe I can catch up with you later.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll come with you.
fantastic.
I'll be there if anything goes wrong too.
Oh, well, of course I'm coming.
I kind of figured that you would. With how curious you are.
I just like to learn stuff.
Why, that's a good habit. You can never know too much. Unless it's
Guessing
about
you'll be joining, leading.
Yeah, I'll be coming along. Yes. Of course.
All right. With that, you have your meal. It is one of the blandest things that you've put in your mouth recently. The stew is barely more than a chunky soup, really. It's more like a broth with bits of leek and stewed greenery floating around, and more of just like an old chicken broth.
Watercress in that watercress stew?
There's a little bit of watercress, a little bit, tiny bit, skosh. You enjoy that, but beer or mead is a little more filling for you, and will refresh you as much as need be. Ivy, you'll spend a bit of time cleaning up afterwards, and you'll all be brought up to your rooms, which are incredibly bland. A pair of beds, no posters at all, like not 4 posters, just a pair of sagging beds in each room.
Claudette's gonna check for bugs.
Can you make me an investigation roll? A 14. After a bit of searching, you are going to confirm that there are no bed bugs in this room, although you think there may have been at one point. You're not 100% sure. There are some other bugs in the room, though. Mostly crickets, and on the windowsill you'll see one lone grasshopper, the length of your thumb, staring at you. Yes, Leiden.
Leiden would like to go and see if she can stop quickly at that gnome's estate. Doesn't have to be like a scene. She just wants to go and do that, and since she asked about it.
Absolutely. As you go to the gnome's place, you will find her in bed. She's not nearly as old as the bartender made out. She's barely 200. In the prime of her life.
Strange.
She is, however, perhaps it's because she's possessed of shock white hair. She has a nagging, deep cough, and deep crow's feet around her eyes. She's young, but her flesh is sagging off of the bones. She looks ill, cancerous.
Can I identify what's wrong with her?
You can make me a medicine roll, please.
Sure. That's a 17.
Some type of internal disease. Honestly, it looks like cancer, colon, tuberculosis. Looking at her, you think it's a respiratory disease.
Right.
The cough is coming up, bloody and mixed with old gray phlegm.
Yike. I'm just trying to see if I have any spells that I think that would be able to help with that, other than just cure wounds.
Restoration.
Oh, yes, I have. I have lesser restoration only.
Let me double check for lesser restoration and see what it covers real quick. Is it under lesser restoration or restoration lesser?
Lesser restoration, as far as I can tell.
I'm never sure.
A creature that can end either one disease or one condition afflicting it.
Perf. All right, so as you go there, you see that one of her eyes is completely sealed shut by pus and scabs from where one of these claws gouged it out. She has tons of cuts around her body and is actually missing the tips of 2 of her fingers. She looks... Sorry?
In rough shape?
She looks in rough shape. A much younger gnome of probably around maybe 12? In human years, around 7 or 8, is minding her. The little girl keeps an eye on you. Her hair is bright and vibrant green. Her skin a peachy rosy color, unlike her mother. What do you do? Do you just cast Lesser Restoration, or do you talk to her a bit?
I think she'll talk to her for a bit, yeah. And she'll cast.
Okay.
Cast it and try and ease their worries or so.
Okay. Can you make me
Claudette will also be in the just kind of waiting and watching Leiden.
Look along? Okay.
Okay. Can you, if you're trying to get a little bit of her story out, I'd love you to make me a persuasion roll.
Sure. Oh, I guess who's not doing super great on that one, but that's gonna be a 11.
11?
11.
All right. Actually, you know what? If you're healing her that, roll me again with give me one more dice. Since you did, heal her.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
What was that?
24.
24. All right. So as you heal that, she'll give her story. She moved here a couple of years ago looking for work when the Cordist mines closed. She used to be a miner deep in the center of it. About 5 years ago, she was one of the foremans. Working that close to the center, though, is dangerous, and there was a bit of a rupture. One of the ones that actually ended up closing the mine. Presently, as you hear a dog in the distance bark and annoy the neighbors, the mine was closed down about 4 to 5 years ago based on this cave-in. She managed to make it out, and as did everybody else, but their hazardous material equipment wasn't able to hold up to that much particulate being released into the air. She got sick, tried to work, and the more she tried to work, the harder it was. She was off doing a repair job on somebody's house. She thought that she could make it home in time to pick up her daughter from the neighbors. She misjudged the light.
Right.
And then one of her flares had gotten damp. She barely made it out alive.
Well, hopefully this can be the start of getting better.
Where are you headed after this? She says, still very weak. But as you cast Lesser Restoration, you will see that like a bit of the sparkle in her eyes is starting to return. Naturally, they're kind of a bright pink, but beforehand you had seen that they were, the irises were kind of a muted red.
Well, we're heading to the observatory and then down to Cordest.
Be careful. The air down there isn't good, even outside of town now.
It's good to know.
All the
Just-
magic is, it goes strange there.
Does it? How so?
All of the core in the air. It bends stuff. Makes stuff weird. Don't trust your eyes.
Is there any equipment or gear that we could take that would help us navigate it?
I still got a few respirators. You're welcome to them. It's not much, only I gotta... I'm gonna spend that something good happens right now. And she will be able to provide you with 4 respirators. They're basically just like particulate masks. But she will give you 4 of them. You might be able to get another one at the general store down there. If they still use them. Go ask for Segolia.
For Segolia, okay.
She used to run the general store back 5 years ago. Old lady. She'll be able to cut you a good deal. Say Flavia sent you.
Question.
Yes.
What would Claudette think this person's likely wage was? Like daily wage?
Ooh, daily wage for a foreman back in the day, probably between 5 silver and a gold.
Okay.
Quite respectable, actually. I'd say, you know what? Actually, for an imperial core mine, probably between 1 and 2 gold a day.
Okay.
She probably had quite a bit of money back in the day.
Does that reflect in the way the estate is built and structured?
Estate is a charitable thing here. This is this is probably one of the larger houses in the city. But it has fallen into a great deal of disrepair over the years. The house is solid wood construction and has held up pretty well structurally, but it's the little things you notice. The paint has started to peel, parts of the roof need to be repaired.
Yeah, I'm mostly just wondering if that sort of wage is like a visible distinction compared to the rest of the town. Like,
No, you think that
No?
most of the money that she would have gotten there has probably been spent up raising her kid
okay.
and just keeping food on the table.
Claudette's gonna leave 5 gold on the table.
Thank
you for your
you.
help.
Thank you for the respirators.
Best of luck. And with that, you head back to meet your friends. Ivy, you've completed your task. done all of the dishes from the dinner meal, and even some of the bar glasses. Can you do me a favor? I'm gonna make you make me. I don't think you've ever washed a dish in your life. As
Probably
Ivy.
not.
So I'm gonna make you make me
no.
I'm gonna make you make me a dex check.
Dex check? Okay. I'm pretty decent
Are you
in
though?
dex. I am. Would it be just like a straight dex check?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna spend my determination on this. Fuck!
What'd you get? You got a nat 1?
I got a nat 1.
Perfect. This is why I asked for these rolls, guys. So you are going to clean all of the dishes. You are going to have, actually make really good progress. And then as you go to rack the final plate, you are going to just kind of, it looks a little unsteady. Like the stack of plates. It looks a little unsteady, so you're going to lean forward and kind of adjust them and get them just right, but you don't realize that as you do so, you kind of like pivot them up and back down. It's going to catch the edge of the dishwashing apron, and as you pull away, the entire stack is just going to crumble to the floor. You are going to lose a good 30 plates.
Oh no.
That explode when they hit the ground. The halfling's going to come back to you with an incredulous look on his face. The barman is going to tell your sugar. Pardon me, that's not his voice. Tell your sugar mama that I'm gonna need that extra gold.
I'm so sorry.
Clean it up
Yes,
and don't break any more of my stuff.
Yes. My apologies.
I don't want your apologies. I want your elbow grease. And I want my plates fixed.
Yes. She'll hurriedly start brooming things up.
Does
sounds-
anyone mend them? Does that work like that?
You know what? So I'm gonna carry over that something good happens, and what's gonna happen is that as that crash comes in, you're starting to pick them up. Everybody else is gonna be outside to hear that tremendous crash.
You act like Claudette has mending. She's
Leiden
a
does.
noble.
Very
What?
does.
Leiden has to mend Claudette's clothes.
All right, so Very and Leiden
Claudette is
are-
not that sort of spellcaster.
you are going to hear that crash. Very as you're waiting outside for Ivy to head out, and Leiden as you're headed back through the door. What do y'all do?
Gonna go investigate.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
everything
I'll
okay
investigate.
here?
He'll probably end up doing one of those things where he leans by the door.
You see the sign that says employees only? Are you employees?
What happened?
Seeing it's just broken plates, he's just gonna walk away.
Yeah, it's not exciting.
It's not exciting. It's not a huge deal.
All right, Ivy, what do you do?
Not gonna fight.
Ivy's on the ground trying to clean this up as they're coming in. She's probably hurriedly trying to.
Ivy,
the
did you
plate.
pick some plates?
Do you just always walk back where you're not supposed to be?
Do you want me to fix them for you?
He's gonna spit into the sink.
And that's not trying to actually be, incredulous or anything. I'm legitimately asking, would you like me to? Because I can.
If you can fix him, fix him.
Perfect. And she'll wander in and she'll start mending on him.
Now that's not the way that mending works, though. Just so you know.
Well,
mend-
as long as you have the pieces for it and it's within a foot.
It's one break at a
it's
time.
one break at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
god,
it's
You have to
we're
mend
gonna be
each
here
and
for
every break.
hours.
So it's like you're gluing
Yeah.
it together and you have to cast it that many times.
Yeah,
so it's going to
it's
take you
basi-
an hour.
So,
Oh, yeah.
hold on one sec. Let's see how many of these are in one piece. Ready? Well, in one break. You know what? I'm gonna say that if you spend about 5 minutes doing this, you can fix about 15 of the plates.
Well, it's 1 minute per casting.
Okay, then I said about 10 minutes, right?
For
You said
15
about
minutes.
15, yeah.
But well, I mean there's one of you, there's two of you doing it.
Yeah, Leiden's happy to spend half an hour fixing them if she has to, or an hour.
No, it'll take 7.5 minutes of ready work between the two of you.
Okay. Well, that's much faster than I was expecting.
The other plates are just like, I'm gonna say half those 30 are just,
They're gone.
yeah, unless you want to spend like 4 minutes per plate, and then you gotta find like the little bits. There'll still be like nicks missing out of them. You don't want that.
Yeah.
No.
I'm so sorry.
enough.
You should probably get to your telescope.
Mm-hmm.
But at least half the plates are good. I'll add the rest to your bill.
Before we leave, because Dirk's staying behind, I was just gonna go quickly like check on Dirk to make just see how he's doing. What like slip away. Maybe she did that before while they were all out doing the gnome and stuff, but yeah, she just wants to like make sure he's okay and
Sure.
give him like a pat on the shoulder, being like, "We'll be back." It's somewhere high at night though, Dirk.
I'm fine. I heard a crash downstairs. Is everything okay?
I dropped some plates.
Wow.
Yeah. Honestly, I've not really done dishes before.
Yeah, you don't really seem like the dishes type.
Yeah.
Have a good time stargazing.
Thanks. Should be interesting.
Here's hoping. With that, you head back downstairs, gathering up your belongings. Is it time to head to the telescope?
Yeah.
All right. You gather up your belongings and make your way toward the lighthouse, and then upwards to the telescope and the future, which we will do when we come back from this break. So, hey, folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick restroom break, and we will see you shortly. Back in a sec. Hello, everybody. We're back here. This is the part of the program where we talk to the chat.
Talking, all the talking.
Talking, yeah. Hey, it's Death McDoom. I love that guy. Or person. I actually don't know. But, ooh, burrito with bacon tortilla. That sounds pretty dope.
I mean, Death McDoom seems pretty cool. However,
oh,
they
Crimson
think
Ark's great,
Claudette's
too.
a bad person in this campaign.
You will be. You will be.
Claudette is lovely and she cares about people.
Yeah, come on. It's only episode 8. We don't know
That's a
anything about
sweetheart.
Claudette's backstory just
I mean,
yet.
the game's a third the way over then, so hey.
No!
That's weird to think about. It
Also,
really
turn your
is.
mic down again, Mike.
Oh, what? What the heck?
Do you have auto adjust on?
So much,
No.
Mike.
Too much, Mike. We need to contain them.
A nice person.
No one contains the mic.
Stand by your suspicion. Claudette's major sus.
So,
Claudette is just sus, yeah.
yeah, so
Because
basically...
she's not a flirting mess. Jeez.
I'm not
fine.
a flirting mess.
You're just a mess at flirting.
Yeah, you're just a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Mike, we're gonna deplatform Mike.
Cancel Mike.
Cancel Mike.
No.
I love that picture of like, what was his name? George Cancel Me. This guy is just begging to be canceled. Like his last name is Cancel Me.
Oh yeah.
So good.
It was Claudette all along.
Claudette is sus.
Okay, so we're just having a quick chat with the chat. So during the break, I checked my phone, which is number one rule, by the way, folks. If you're ever doing a live stream, don't check your phone because you'll get something annoying that'll come up in it, especially if you're running the game, and it will totally affect the rest of your game. However, I have had a really exhausting day. I woke up at like just about 9 o'clock, and then I wrote from 9 until 3:30 straight, like just worked on my new book, and I finished my fiction, which is great. It is 41 pages of fiction that I just wrote for this book, and I just heard back from my editor, and I was like, oh god, Sam, this is where you're like, because the last time I did this, I wrote a story and it was pretty good, but I got my notes back and he was like, yeah, it like after chapter 1 it doesn't work. So I had to go and rewrite the entire novella again. And it came out with a much better product. Christine, you've read it. You know what I'm talking about. Better Feared? Little John.
Sorry, I'm muted.
You are muted.
But yes, no, Little John is fantastic.
But that story was good. This one's apparently even better. So what is the book about? So I am in the process of working with my good friend Sam Young, who is a writer from Onyx Path. The people who do games like Werewolf the Forsaken, Vampire the Requiem, and we are working on a project to take all of the Vampire the Requiem clan books, and they never got a second edition version, so we're converting them to second edition, changing all of the rules, adding new features, and he wanted to make these as close to the original clan books as possible, which are these, I do have one right here. So like, for example, I've got, oh no, and I pushed it all the way back. Oh, I got it. So like, right here is Clan Book Deva, and it is actually I gotta watch this because there actually is like nudity, and yep, there's boobs right there. But like there's like tons of fiction and great artwork in these books. So we're spending a lot of time completely revising them, and that includes putting in a minimum of 10,000 words of fiction in each one, which is what I was hired for. Malkavian is not Vampire the Requiem. So technically, Malkavia is in Vampire the Requiem, but it's something that happens to Ventru. So technically, whenever this book releases that we're working on right now, Death McDoom. Where's the link for Little John? Hold on, I'll pop it on the chat. So anyway, I got my notes back, and apparently this fiction, I was like, oh god, what's he gonna make me redo this time? And he's like, no, you need to change like 100 words, it's perfect. And I was like, oh my god. Because this week has been awful, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I really appreciate you Nernites there. That's what I'll call you, Nernites. I'm gonna call you Nernites right there for allowing me to take Wednesday off, because my god, I needed it. I actually sat down today because today was the deadline for this fiction, and I just worked for like 8 hours straight. It was great. It was like going to McDonald's and asking for like ice cream, and they're for once they're like, yeah, dopamine machine working. That's literally what happened to me today. So how's everybody else doing?
Well, I can't stream tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because you're
it's frustrating. So I have to take my computer into the shop to see if they can figure out what the hell the intermittent Bluetooth issue I'm having is. However,
fix it.
With Amy's help, I have managed to make my keyboard work with the dongle properly.
I love when my dongle works.
So that it will work regardless of Bluetooth. So I won't have the issue of the Bluetooth going and my keyboard being inoperable at the same time.
Yes, very good, very good.
Turns out Windows 10 has a feature that when you plug something like a dongle in, if it's not just installing drivers, but software, it blocks it from doing it. And you have to then go online, find the software, and download it. Logitech does not tell you this. Also doesn't tell you that it was blocked from being downloaded. So it could not see the unifying receiver because there was no software for it.
I'm looking forward to getting back to my normal stream schedule. I had taken last week off because of studying for aviation. A lot of studying. And then last night I took the evening off streaming because I opted to celebrate my first flight in 6 years by having a nice dinner and watching a shitty movie.
Which movie?
Battleship.
Wow, you really kind of that's a shitty movie.
It is one of my all-time favorite movies. I don't know how many times I've seen it, but I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite movies, and
I agree with
if I'm
chat.
having a really good mood, it's my go-to movie to watch.
Oh god.
Yes, Rihanna is in that, and God,
sweet.
why?
I can actually just there you go. Someone asked for my link. That is the link to everything on Storyteller's Vault that I've written. So go buy it all.
Also,
I
as
10%.
as for why I like the movie Battleship, it's hilarious and it's great and it has awesome warship scenes that don't make any sense.
I mean, that's
true.
fair. Oh, I mean, one of my favorite movies for the longest time was Gone in 60 Seconds.
That's a
Car
great
heist
movie.
with Nicolas Cage.
Like that is a great movie. Let's
Angelina Jolie.
let's be real here. Gone in 60 Seconds is a damn good movie.
So we are, Christine and I, sometime this weekend, are going to work our way through all of the Godzilla and Kong movies.
When we finally have multiple nights off in a row.
So what I have to do this week, I have to finish my red lines for the book, like all of my nonfiction stuff. And then I have to publish a magazine by Monday. But as soon as that magazine's published, like, we're there. And the magazine's only gonna be like it's gonna have like 4 less pages, so that's a lot less work for me to do. So maybe on Sunday, maybe after Cyberpunk. I'm not gonna go to sleep after Cyberpunk. God, I want to.
Oh, actually, what was the last Nicolas Cage movie we watched?
That was Willy's Wonderland.
That
Willy's
was
Wonderland
weird.
was pretty good. It was
really good. It was weird. Oh my god.
It didn't go quite as far as it should have, but it was a good, like, if you pay cheap for it, it was good. Oh, and that reminds me, next week, once my fiction and the magazine are done, because I edit a magazine part-time, a small one, don't worry about it. It is when I'm going to start doing my streaming again. I'm going to start doing my my video game streaming, so you can watch Kelly play stuff, which necessitates me doing more photoshops of my head onto people. Which,
good. Very good.
Hold on, time to do Kelly Rush. For those of you who are watching later on YouTube and not on Twitch, there is a Cyberpunk logo with my face on it. That is pretty great. What the hell should I play, guys? I've got so
Whatever
many.
the hell you want to.
What you want to play?
Should I finish? I don't want to finish The Last of Us 2 because then I have to I have to do the video capture thing. It's a pain in the ass. Try rhythm games? No thanks, man. I want to have fun. D, you do not want that.
No, I'm pretty sure she saw that and had
Did
a
she?
got a
God,
blast
that was
out
amazing.
of it.
Oh, was that
It was so good.
What are we talking about? We're talking about Hellbreaker? Hell.
So Dee's the one who showed me bullets per minute.
That
Oh.
was a great
And you
stream.
immediately outdid me in any run I've ever done in my entire life.
I also
playing
turned the
that
rhythm
game.
off like 2 minutes into the game. I'm like, nah, fuck it.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, no, like I had that disabled too, but you still outdid me in every way possible, and you're still complaining, and I'm like, Kelly, why? You're doing better
Oh
than
my
me.
gosh.
I'm really bad at
do
rhythm
this?
games. I'm really bad at rhythm
I'm
games.
not. I'm just bad at first-person shooters.
It's
I need
it's
to get into streaming more on my channel because I'm trying to do affiliate.
you got to do it. Anybody who wants to go follow Robin. Like go follow them right now on Second Gen Gamer. Boop.
Yeah, so you just want to do like computer games, right? Not
Me?
yeah, not like PS4.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is I'm going to be streaming in the middle of the day, and I don't know if horror games filmed in the middle of the streamed in the middle of the day are the best idea.
Give it a
That's
shot
fair.
and see. People might be down. for
I
it.
would rather watch that because I don't do sometimes I don't do well with horror games, so I like actually watching people do it in the daytime because I'm less scared.
Would you guys
the
do
person-
a watch along on YouTube for the kaiju movies? Just keep the volume low. Actually, we could bypass it and do that. We actually. Oh God, do I still have this image? Hold on, I gotta show you all something. It's all. You know what I'm talking about. Caitlin
Oh, I
knows.
know what you're talking about. Oh my god, yes.
Hold on, let me see if I still have the image. So
Oh my God,
right before
yes.
COVID, Caitlin and I, and then Mike eventually got roped into it too, had this thing that we were going to do. Where is it? Where we were going to watch the scariest horror movies we could. I gotta find it if I still have it because it's the worst
Oh my
graphic
God,
I ever
yes.
made for anything.
It's so good though.
Is it in my film review folder? Oh, hold
no.
on. We're gonna get back to game in just a sec, but I gotta find this. This is fucking awful. It's so bad. Oh, was it? Did I just call it? Ooh, nope. Yep, it's right. It's right there. It's. Oh, is this it? Yes. Oh no. What did I change? Okay, I think I changed everything. So hold on. Okay. Why is this not on top?
That's what she said.
Wait. Oh, that's why. Because it's right there. So hold on, it expanded. One sec. Here we go. So
Happening.
hold on.
It's all in our.
So this
It looks
was
pretty
what
horrifying.
this is what we were.
Fine.
There we go. You have to look at my monitor on Twitch, and you'll see it. So this is the. Sorry, it opened instead of there we go again. It opened instead of like just adding. So this was going to be the Scream stream. We were going to watch Hereditary, and I love this because I just took her head and photoshopped our faces into it like really bad. And I love that I was like, Caitlin, scream! I need a picture of you screaming, and you were just like, whoa.
And that face is like, no.
It's pretty brilliant.
I think Mike's the one that's selling it the most, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike is like selling it.
But like, it was.
I'm like mildly
like,
disgusted.
She is scary.
She's scary.
Whatever Mike's selling,
Mike's
I'll
is
buy.
great.
You know, it's just selling it.
I actually forgot what it looked like. I'm just waiting for it to load on my Twitch.
Oh God.
Oh, okay.
It's something.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah.
Yes!
So we were
That's
gonna do that in
beautiful.
person. Then we're like, oh, we could. The whole
man.
thing was gonna be just like a camera filming us as we watched, and it was
Yeah.
like, hello, please sync this with your copy of Hereditary now. Beep.
Gotcha.
And then that way we'd just be listening on headphones. We thought about doing it as just filming a pop-up, but it just didn't really seem as good. I mean, we can do that pretty easily, to be honest. We could just start a watch party and then film our reactions.
Yeah.
True.
True.
Probably could, yeah.
True. And this
Yeah.
this computer will handle it.
Your computer's so good now. If you do it, can you... I want to have, like, I think that 3 voices is probably as much as you can do and have it still be coherent. There's a reason that like audio commentary tracks on DVDs and Blu-rays, you know, things that used to exist back in the old times, only had like 2 or 3 voices. Otherwise, it just overtalks. But in the future, yeah, Jacob, man, you can comment on something. Yeah, we should do that. But should we watch the... So, but for who asked, technically, Christine, when we watch Kong Skull Island and Godzilla, they both qualify for the criteria of our unnamed podcast.
Oh yeah, I know. I knew we were doing that.
Yes, I know, but the audience doesn't know that, so I was saying you're bad at picking up the bit.
I'm sorry. Jeez, it's hard when it's unnamed.
The unnamed podcast, where I show you things and then we react to them. I'm gonna drink some more coffee.
I was a deprived child.
And yet, I'm still partially convinced that you have had more exposure to stuff than I did.
Me?
Yeah. Like, I think we're pretty comparable in terms of like our media exposure.
Yeah, I've seen no Nicolas Cage movies. Everyone
neither.
makes a big deal about
What?
it. I've never seen a single
Yeah.
Nick Cage movie.
Nope.
Oh my
Never
god.
seen Con Air?
No.
Okay.
You've never seen
so
The Rock?
reason I've seen Gone in 60
Good song.
Seconds was because a friend in high school loved it and introduced me to it. Otherwise, like 1 or 2 movies in high school, like I got Bring It On because I think my aunt bought it for me for Christmas on
Dude.
VHS.
Oh, I can quote like
Haven't seen
80% of
National
Bring It
Treasure.
On. Wait.
Actually, I had the first song going through my head the other day. The big red part.
Oh yeah,
I know the
still
musical for Bring It
big
On very quite well.
red. I'm popular and wild.
But yeah. Like,
My movies
Who
as
am
a
I?
child growing
Just
up
guess.
consisted of
Guys
Disney.
wanna touch my chest. I'm rockin'. I'm wild, and many think I'm vile. Who am I?
Yeah. Oh man.
You
that
should
was
just
my
stream
elementary
that.
school jam.
Yeah, just do that.
That was my
You'll
high
get
school
lots of
jam
views.
too. I used to watch.
Hell yeah.
That was.
Yep.
I'm gonna stop there because I got up to a lot.
Spice World.
That movie
Spice
was very
World was my
useful.
other big movie in high school.
I've not seen that. No,
I've not seen that.
I honestly could not tell you. If you played a Spice Girls song for me, there's like maybe one
I know.
could actually
I know a
recognize.
couple Spice Girl songs.
You only
But
really
I
need
haven't
to
seen
know
Any
one
of
of
our
them.
younger than me too,
Godzilla.
so
Seen
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
one Kong movie. I've seen like
Which Kong movie?
Skull Island.
It was pretty good.
I
And yet-
haven't seen any of the Kong movies.
You go
Sure,
watch Skull
for not
Island. It's
knowing.
on Amazon Prime. You can watch it right now.
yeah,
I
my
might
first
watch that for
CD
stream.
was Spice World. So
My first
the Spice
CD
Girls were
was
big when I was like
Hilary
12.
Duff. I'm pretty sure.
We could do a watch
I think
party
I
though.
had
Like we
an
could do.
Arrogant Worm CD was the first one I had.
Arrogant Worms.
Arrogant
find
Worms
them till
are
high
great.
They're the first
Backstreet
concert that I ever
Boys.
actually saw.
Me too.
Yeah.
Did you see?
Oh,
We've had this conversation before.
Yeah,
we
we
both saw
have.
them at the conservatory.
Yeah.
Spice Girls were big enough when I was around 12 that local like dance classes, like the community,
Nice.
the community rec center dance classes use Spice Girls and stuff for their tracks.
That first
Caitlin
song,
knows what I'm
though.
talking about.
See, I just remember doing my middle school did karaoke Fridays, and I forget the name of the song right now because I'm just blanking. But if you want to be my lover one, you gotta get with my friends. That was always something that every Friday someone karaoke'd that one.
Yeah, because everybody wants
Yeah.
to set up an orgy.
Duh.
If you want to
The
be
one I
my
remember
lover,
hearing all the time on the radio was
gotta get with
Stop
my
right
friends.
now.
Thank you very much.
Oh, it's called Wannabe. Okay.
Wanna
yeah, we
be,
should probably stop
thank
there
you.
before we get copyright
Yeah.
strike.
I
Figure it
think.
out.
I
It
think
was
that,
important.
Yeah.
I had one of the Now CDs that had the Aaron Carter.
Now
Like his
that's
first
what
track on
I
it?
call pop trash.
Yes.
The fact that
had
there
some
are
of
like
those.
much CDs called Dad Rock now that have like Blink 182 on them.
No.
No.
Disgusting.
What?
Because
Yeah, Blink 182 and like
Oh,
Green Day,
no.
like they're Dad Rock now.
Well, the
What?
fact that
Well, yeah, because everybody who listens to him is dad age now.
yeah,
the fact that Bowling for Soup came out
Mike,
with an
you're-
update to their song is now 2005.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The new parody. Like Mike, you're dad age
was
now,
amazing.
my friend.
I am dad age. I'm
Like
and
you're
I-
low dad age. You're low.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
same age
listen
that
to
my
them.
mom was
I'm
when
not
she had
that
me.
age.
I am like
Like,
I'm like
child.
super old compared to
Feels
my
weird.
parents. Like it's
I'm
weird.
pretty sure
Yeah,
I'm
you
older
are
than my
super
mom
old,
was
Kelly.
when she had my brother.
What's that?
And me. Like, I don't know.
What?
Weird.
Huh? Someone said I don't know.
I just said
I
you're
don't know.
super old.
I'm super old, but I look super young, and that's all that matters. Vampires.
Really is.
Yeah, Robin, you're just super young. That's all.
You're just baby.
yep.
We're all old compared to you.
I'm
Yeah,
teasing.
you're dad age, Crimson. So is Frog-Emoth.
Yeah.
I don't know how old Streamlord is. Streamlord might be mom age. I don't know. Aquabat's flaming lips and Primus. You're
Yes.
mom age. You're mom age.
Yeah, Aquabat's great.
Yeah, 45's not that old. And
Green
Buddy,
Day was
I wonder
not
how old
always
Buddy
Dad Rock.
1997 is.
Don't know. It's a mystery.
77.
22.
Yeah, dead-
Okay, but
dead
looking at
Kennedys.
Rig 17842,
Wow.
you're from the future,
Grandfather.
friend.
Whoa.
How
Riggs is thinking
how
on that
is it?
17th century level. Or that 700, wait, the 1708th century level.
Yeah.
178th? Yeah, fuck, I'm
Yeah.
so tired, guys. Oh, okay. Hold on. We can do this. We can run this game. We can do it.
We can.
All right.
Am I
I'm
looking yellow
overheating.
again on screen, or am I just?
No, you're a little yellow, but I'm going to open the window a tiny bit.
No.
It looks
I
like
find
the
it
sun
very
is,
funny.
is shining on
That's
you.
what I was
Like, you got
wondering.
some sunset stuff
Frog,
going on. It looks great.
Wait, Frog, you're old enough to be president? President's 35.
Is it? I thought it was like.
No, to
Well,
be the
that's
president of the
amazing.
United States, you have to be at least 35 years of age.
There we go. Here's like.
I find
but
it
then
really
my
funny
green
that I've
screen
started
freaks
seeing
out.
stuff on like the TikTok videos and like Twitter and stuff about how skinny jeans and side parts are out of fashion.
Excuse me,
Oh
side
my
part
God.
forever. Side
Okay,
part
Robin,
forever.
Why are you having
know,
a
I know.
rave?
Sophisticated looking.
I was trying to change my light so it looked less.
Fine. We're doing this? We doing this?
I went
Let's have
into
a rave.
rabbit hole.
Oh, no,
of,
no,
like,
you wanna
what
have a
Gen
rave?
Z feels
You wanna
cringy
have
a-
about millennials.
Let's go.
Yeah, I do.
Oh man,
Let's go.
I got angry.
Jump 3. Let's see jump 3. Oh, there we go. Now it's a rave. It's changing colors.
Oh, yeah?
It really is.
I mean, I can make
Oh,
my
the
desk go
lead-ins on
rave,
it.
but
There we
I don't
go.
have any lighting that faces me that goes rave.
I don't have one of those lights.
Wait, are we getting
so-
raided right now in the middle of this? Oh, God.
Hilarious.
Raid rave?
Welcome to the raid.
Are we?
Raid.
Alright.
No.
No, we're
Thermal
not.
dancing
Art Hard
playing
just
in the
joined us, though.
distance.
Hey, Arnhard, how's it going?
I can do
I
that
still,
one.
I still have to
Oh my
message
god,
you.
Carmelo dancing.
Yep.
I remember dancing to that at a convention.
I was
I
actually
remember that at high school.
All right, stop.
on my way home
Yes.
tonight in the Tesla. I was just blasting Caramel Dance and it was great.
Why?
Hell
Stop.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta blast
Can
it.
you just
It's-
choose a
it's
color?
Guys, you know what I want to do? I want to do a fucking road trip.
Yeah,
I
me
want to
too.
do a road
Ooh,
trip,
yeah.
and I want to do that thing that I always do when we leave the island, and I play on a boat when we're getting on the ferry, like really loud.
Yep,
Yes.
every single time.
Every
Can you
single
see
time.
me?
I'm on a boat,
Actually-
and it's going fast, and
So when COVID is a memory, and we can we can all go down to
Distant
Seattle.
yeah.
So we can take the boat, and then I can fly people to Seattle too.
You know what I want? Yo, by the way, COVID's never going to be a memory. You heard the thing about Pfizer today, right?
Yeah.
That we're going to have to get the COVID shot yearly. Because it's
What?
only...
What?
The Pfizer thinks their immunity is only going to last a year.
So it's gonna be like flu shot.
It's going to be like flu shot.
Oh, you fucking hell.
But let's be
Well, I
fair, we
got-
kind of knew this going in.
Yeah.
I still want my shot.
They said that it was going to be based on fuck trees that climb buoys, motherfucker. Oh, it's so true.
I love.
Are you
I
gonna
love
finish what you were actually gonna say?
What was I going to say? Was I going to say Poseidon, look at me?
I don't think so.
You never know with me though.
I really don't.
Accurate.
True.
What was I going to say? It was
just,
Poseidon. It was
COVID vaccine.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have
Yeah.
to keep getting the vaccine. But let's be fair, we kind of knew that it was gonna happen there with the variations anyway. I just hate what it's doing for people who are anti-vax, because it's like giving them ammo,
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
right?
it's true.
It
Lonely
does
Island
basically-
bits. I will. You know, I should do a karaoke stream where I just like scream bad music.
You know what I'm
That's
so angry about?
what.
That Twitch Sings is no longer supported and doesn't exist anymore. Because I
Oh, is
wanted to
that-
have like a Twitch party. Like
Yeah.
a Twitch like a stream like Dork Tales party and do karaoke. Except it doesn't exist as of January 2021.
Wow.
Wow, we missed that opportunity.
We did!
Yep.
Another
Oh, man.
shot.
Anyway.
You get one shot, Wonka. You get one shot. One opportunity. This comes once in a lifetime, yo.
I want to be shot
Spaghetti.
either in the head or just in the arm.
I am very excited. Hype training coming. Uh-oh.
Hype. Why are we hyped
Ah.
about this?
Hype.
I mean, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Let's hype.
Limited
Actually,
time to
on-
earn exclusive emotes, everybody.
I'm
on
getting
the note
somebody
of
get
on-
Biddies.
on the note of that
show
kind of
me
thing,
your-
Robin,
Do it
I
once.
saw a funny meme that I think
the
you'd appreciate.
maximum here.
Yeah.
I need
Talking
to know.
about like Pawn Far Fridays at the bar. And it's like those sound terrifying. People die at those. And it's like, yeah, Pawn Far Fridays. It's fuck or die Friday. I'm okay with one of these. I don't care which one.
Welcome to being a millennial.
Right?
Yeah,
I
fanfic
feel
trope.
that.
Honestly.
fuck or die
feel
Fridays, Pawn Far.
Like that's great because like everybody gets what they want.
Right?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Sub, gift, or use bits to get on the next level. I have none of those money.
Oh,
I
that
used
reminds me.
them biddies.
All right, so folks,
Show
we're
you
gonna be
my
hopping back into game in
biddies.
just a second, real quick. If you have your biddies, show me your biddies.
Working on it.
Biddies do I
It
have?
said I
have
couldn't
two
do any
biddies
more than
left,
that.
I think.
Okay, so real
maxed
quick, I
out
also
my
wanted to say
character
that I am trying to lose my COVID weight, which I've still got like 5 pounds to go probably before I'm back to. No. Anyway, regardless, holy crap, the chat's blowing up. What I wanted to say real quick is that once we get over on like Monday, Tuesday, when I start doing my video game streams, exclusively, my video game streams are going to be, I'm going to try to raise followers and subs, and there's going to be push-ups and squat challenges involved.
Hurt
Nice.
yourself.
So
Oh.
it's going to be legit. Like, no, seriously, like for a sub, I'll do 5 push-ups.
That's
Yeah,
what I
I
should
should
that's
do
fair.
that.
I'll do-
I
I'll
should
do-
do that for
And resubs do
Twitch.
count.
Resubs do count if you do them during that stream, and
I still feel
also
so bad.
and I'll do like
Yep.
five squats per follow, I think. So
Nice.
So bad about what I ruined Snebzor. I'm so bad.
what happened?
I resubbed and he was doing the squats, the push-up challenge, and he had already done like 100 or something in the day. And then I notified the resubscription, and he's like, "Oh no!" And then he goes and so you can see him doing them on the stream, and he's just like, "I can't," and he just collapses. And I'm like,
And you were like
I'm so
refund,
sorry.
refund sub now,
"No," and I was
Yeah.
like, "No, you
guys.
before you even
Guys,
did
we
it,
can do
that's
this.
why
I picked
You don't have to.
5 because he was doing 10 per.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna do
absolute
5.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're at Hype Train.
Choo choo.
Oh, I can do this real quick. Hold on.
SpaghettiOs.
Hold on, guys. I got this. Hold on.
Choo choo SpaghettiOs.
No, hold
Level
on.
1 complete.
Come on. Where the
Begin. Level 2.
what? Oh, yeah.
Level 2. Start.
Level 2, start. Come on, Hype Trade.
100 subs you plank for 10 minutes? No, that's a good way for me to have a heart attack.
You know what? Plank for 10 minutes? I can plank for 3 minutes.
I
here we
can
go.
plank not
Hype
at
Train.
all.
Do you have a way you can set it up so that you can actually do them on the stream, or are you gonna just do them like after or outside of it?
I'm gonna just drop and do them. I'll just kick my chair to
Okay.
the side.
Cool.
Fair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep, that's basically what I've been doing, which is hilarious. So the 2 times I've actually had to do push-ups on stream. First time I think I had to do like 15, second time I only had to do 5. Charlie has been under my desk at the same time.
Good,
Guess
good.
who decided to lick my neck and face while I'm trying to do it?
Oh,
It was me.
God!
Needless to say, the first time I just pretty much collapsed laughing in the middle of it because he's trying to lick my face inside of my neck.
Oh, God.
She always
Dog licks are
collapses
so
when I do that.
gross, but they're so pure.
What will I be wearing and not wearing? Well, that depends. Yeah. You know what? I have to watch how much I show off according to Twitch's terms of service. So,
Yeah.
is Charlie the boyfriend? In a way.
Oh.
One red. I think you keep missing the beginning of game where we do the hellos. So, going through, I'm just gonna go. I'm Kelly. That's Christine. That's Amy.
Hi.
That's Mike.
Hi.
That's Robin.
Hi.
You almost got forgotten.
That's
Surprise.
that's
It's fine, I'm
Haitlin.
new.
And this is Charlie.
That's Charlie. That's Charlie.
Charlie is the
boy.
cutest member of Dork Tales.
Oh, thank you for gifting a sub.
Goodest boy.
Thanks.
All right. So, Patsy just subscribed for 2 months in a row. Thank you, Patsy. All right. Kelly, that was the new. It was me. It was me. Oh, actually, and real quick. So I finally heard back again from a Redbubble.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
And they were like,
Yeah, I'm sorry, we can't do anything because Cyberpunk says that they own your design. So, like, we just can't. I'm sorry. It sucks, but it is what it is.
so guess what I did?
How the fuck can they own it when it's not theirs?
Did you email Cyberpunk?
No, I didn't email Cyberpunk.
okay.
I changed 30% of the design, so I'd like to introduce you to Future Dog.
Oh
So-
my god.
So there's Future Dog. He's on the screen right now on Twitch.
He's
I can only see. Oh, there. Oh my God,
There.
Future Dog.
And then Future Dog 2 Triangle Edition. All right. So that's going to be going up soon. And then Amy, we need to do a migration
Yeah,
over
we
to
need to.
TeePublic
Oh.
because their t-shirts are like kind of better.
I think yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to admit, my Dork Tales logo one is the logo's coming off already. It's been
Well,
like
have you
2
been
or 3
have you been hanging it to
washes.
dry?
No.
You haven't been following
Yeah.
the care instructions?
No, I never followed
Watch
these.
this.
True
I
care
know.
instructions.
I mean, then it's
Electric
gonna
Boogaloo. That's fantastic art hard.
yes, electric boogaloo.
Does anyone
They do
actually
something.
follow the care instructions on clothes?
I mean,
I do.
yes,
Yeah.
sometimes. Most
Yeah.
Like,
of the time.
I want my clothes to last.
on my brand new shirts. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Oh, I
some
always
of my
just chuck
stuff,
everything
like,
in the wash and right into the dryer.
Same.
I mean,
Same.
often I will just like say a quick prayer and then just toss
I
it in
mean-
the wash. But if it's something
Ye-
I really, really do care about, yeah, you just.
I mean,
leave
it depends.
That's fair, yeah.
Or if
Like,
I mean,
it's
the
like
vast majority of my
jacket that's,
stuff
like,
has like care
dry fit
instructions
only.
because of the fabric.
Okay, so folks, I think it's time for us to head back and play some Dungeons and Dragons. So
Sounds good.
Um,
Go fix the
but,
telescope.
yeah, let's go fix the telescope.
Let's go
And
do a thing.
I'm sure nothing bad is gonna happen. It's
God,
gonna be
also,
great.
I
Future
wanted to-
dog.
I
Oh
wanted
my
to s-
god, yes.
I wanted to say real quick that last night was pretty rad for those of you who tuned into episode 2 of Candlekeep Adventures. You want to hear some fun stat though?
Yeah.
So we were the fourth highest viewed D&D stream of the night,
Wow.
Cool.
including Critical Role,
Yeah.
Cool.
which means they don't even count.
No,
Yeah,
because they're like
they're
at
kind of, like-
68,000 people.
They had 1,000 times more people than we did, so they don't
Yeah.
count. They can go walk. Tonight we're ninth tonight, but it's a pretty close race between us and a few people ahead of us.
We're in the top 10.
We're definitely well. I mean, like the person who's above us has like 7 more viewers than us. It's not like a huge deal. It's not like dealing with like, ooh, share I shared it. There we go. Gotta tell me where to find that. It will be going up on our Redbubble. Which did we link that Red? Amy, can you give our Redbubble
Yeah.
real quick? We're also gonna have a so that's gonna be up there. All of our current game logos are up there right now, and I'm gonna be making a bunch more Charlie shirts because.
All right, we have to get on that like and buy them immediately so they can't screw with it again.
Well, is it D that owns the only Cyberdog shirt?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Okay, because D is a fucking hero.
Like legit, the only Cyberdog shirt in existence.
Yeah.
Because Cyberpunk was like, that's ours, because I used a cyberpunky font.
And you're like, it's my fucking dog.
It's my fucking dog. Like, I'll take the font off, and I did. I just replaced it with Future Dog with a free font.
Do you think they're still gonna try and come after you and say the Charlie's theirs?
I mean, the worst they'll do is delete my Redbubble store, but I'm gonna be like,
At this point, yeah.
I'm making Amy start one over on TPub. Oh, I already did start it. We just need to
you
migrate
started. I
stuff
just
over.
need to-
It's honestly an easier interface. I think that the bots are gonna steal our stuff more often on TPublic, but whatever.
It happens.
It happens. We'll just they own the words. They claim to own the word cyber. Well,
Well,
that
good
means
for
they
them.
own the cyber.
What? That's
It's like saying you own the
ridiculous.
word punk.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Like-
Yeah. Who are you? Blink 182.
Ha!
No.
Don't sweat the things, especially not all the small things.
Work socks.
Work socks. I'm wearing work socks right now.
Gross, I took mine off.
It's too cold to not wear work socks right now. Dude,
My
I
socks have stripes and hearts on them.
I
I'm
took my
wearing
socks off
slippers.
because my hands are getting really sweaty. So.
basically Streamlord. D's right. All right, so folks, we are heading back into game right now. Thank you very much. Oh, and real quick, if anybody ever wants to check just because it's quicker than typing it, so bam, if you want to look for that, what you do is, all you have to do is go to your, go to browse, go to Dungeons and Dragons, and then you can sort by views. That's literally all I did was like active views at the moment. And it was like, oh, hey, because I know, like, for those of you who don't know, Art Heart Studios are a good friend of the channel. They do Weed D&D, and Bam is a great dungeon master. Like, he's really good. So if you are someone who is also 420 friendly, go give them a follow and go watch them. They stream on Tuesday nights, which normally would not be interfering. Like, we would normally not be interfering with them. But right now we're running Candlekeep to try to get it out of our system. So there's a little bit of conflict there, but you can always catch Candlekeep on YouTube. Like, go watch them. They're good. And you guys pull in a lot of people. It's really cool to watch. Like, I think that you might have a chance at partner soon, depending on things. So that's really cool. Don't forget us when you're famous, Bam. Anyway, go follow them. They're really cool. And go follow everybody. Go follow everybody. Follow each other. It'll be really weird. And eventually you'll be like, why are you following me? I'm so
Because
tired.
we're all
I'm
rad.
so tired. All right. Dungeons and Dragons and pretending you're not tired. Let's go. Oh,
Oh, my head hurts. My wig is tight today for some reason.
tight
My
wigs
hair
are
just can't be
tight.
contained.
I'm just
Tight
overheating.
wigs are tight.
Tight wigs are tight. All right, heading back in. You all ready for this?
Do it.
I just
Bum,
remembered
bum, bum,
what
bum,
you should
bum,
play
bum,
for
bum.
computer game is do Goose with me.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Goose.
do we have it on
Get
computer?
Goose. I have Goose
Do you? Okay.
on Steam.
Do I have to have it too to play two-player?
I'm actually not sure.
Okay, well we'll have to figure that out. Because I know we have it on the Switch, but okay. All right, heading back in 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome back to the Reign of Emrys here on Dork Tales. As you all gather your things up, you find yourself walking up the winding road to the tip of town. The cliff face overlooks the broad and dark sea. It's majestic. The grasslands around here are deep and pitted, and in the blades of green foliage you will see dozens of blue and yellow fireflies rising to the air. A field of starlight beneath the stars glitters as you walk along that old and dusty trail to the lighthouse that juts from the cliff bank like a spear up into the sky. Night has fallen above you. You can see the twin moons moving overhead, as well as the glittering remains of the third that once hung in the sky. The trail of stardust glitters wide as the false stars look down at you. And above you, a sign of great fortune. The golden star twinkles down at you as well. This is a night for magic. You find yourselves at the base of the lighthouse. The air is crisp and tinged with electricity. Lights are on inside, and the old lamp sweeps the bays, illuminating not only the waves, but occasionally shady, misshapen forms crashing beneath them. The coast here is one designed for monsters, and kept at bay by the burning torchlight. The front of the lighthouse is a small, white stone stairwell of 10 steps, leading up to an old, rusted iron door. A sign next to it, a plaque stuck into the stone, proclaims that this lighthouse is cared for by Hailiiz Lausland. What do you do?
Gonna knock on the door.
Doom, doom, doom. From above you, you will hear the sound of a voice calling down. Hello there!
Good evening.
Can I help you?
I'm looking to get across to the observatory.
Just one moment. I'll be down in a second.
What did it say his last name was?
Lausland.
Lausland?
Pardon me, Lancelin. My writing turned an N into a U. So the name is spelled Hailiiz, so Harry with an E at the end of it. And the last name is L-A-N-C, so Lance Lynn, L-Y-N, following the word Lance. A few minutes pass. And at the end of it, the door will grind open from the inside. The sound of a wheel pulling the old bulkhead door at the outside of the lighthouse open with a... The door swings in on old rusted hinges. And a fairly young halfling with messy brown hair and a pair of glasses on the tip of his nose is going to be standing inside. His feet are bare and he's wearing a pair of coveralls that are stained with lamp oil. Hi, how can I help you?
I'm looking to get across to the observatory. I'm here to fix it.
Oh, you're the one that they finally sent someone. Oh.
Yes. I'm Veritrix.
Finlow, nice to meet you. I'm the assistant here. One of. If you're looking to head across, I can take you over there right now. Harry, my supervisor's over there right now trying to do what he can, but basically, as far as I understand, the focal range is off, and the glass is kind of cracked. You can fix that?
I can fix most things with telescopes. It just needs a soul star's touch.
I don't know what that is, but I'm happy to have you over here. Come on with me. The gondola goes from midway up the tower.
Okay, and she'll quite excitedly follow him.
Y'all coming?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, certainly.
The gondola can handle about 12 people, so it should be fine unless any of you is supernaturally heavy.
Well,
I'm kidding. I see the most of you are ladies. It's a dumb joke. Come on up.
Luckily enough, I only weigh 30 pounds.
Well, that's okay. I like him curvy. He says and walks up behind you. He'll pause for a moment.
Gonna carry on and follow along.
He takes you up. midway through the tower, and that is exactly where the spiral staircase that goes up the core of this immense lighthouse has a secondary structure built off the side of it. There's a floor about 100 feet up here. And moving through it, you can see that there's, off the side of the lighthouse, a semicircular structure. Almost like a bubble built off the side of it. From it, a pair of thick, leg-thick cables made of twisted, twined iron. Pardon me, steel, not iron. That would be dumb. Stretch across the expanse. Mount Presidio it's too dark for any of you to see. But you imagine it must be 5 miles worth of cable, stretching across the expanse of nothing but cold water to the island mountain. Hanging from it is an old gondola. There are no doors, just these little half measures that slam down and lock in place once you're inside. 2 rows of benches facing forward through a thick glass windshield, as well as a motorized pulley system above it, with a set of cranks just in case it breaks down and you have to crank your way across 5 miles of cable. Don't worry about that. The thing hasn't broken down in like a generation at least.
I was just gonna ask that question.
This thing runs, we run it at least twice a day. It's totally safe. Go ahead, hop inside. I'll get her started up.
Very happily jump in.
All right, let's go.
So you're an artificer?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to do the honors? It's just the ripcord right there.
Oh, I'd love to. And
After
she will.
Give me a strength check.
You got it. Ooh, that's a really good one.
Nice.
For my 0 strength. 16.
Try me the pump a second. Always goes on the
make that
third.
noise.
Yeah, it just needs to be primed. The fuel's gone a little cold.
Right.
All right,
Okay.
give it a rip now. And with that, do you pull back?
Yeah.
Grabbing the pull cord with both hands, you pull it back. The engine turns over. The sound of the pistons remains steady, and you will feel the gondola go. All right, so it's just this lever. Everybody, please sit down and enjoy the ride. And he slams the gear into place. And ooh, hello, Devils! Look, good to see you guys. And with that, you will begin to cross the immense expanse in front of you. As you begin to move across it, there is nothing around you, except for darkness as you leave the lighthouse behind you. Occasionally, you will see a swath of light as the rotating light of the lighthouse sweeps across the expanse. Mount Presidio lies ahead of you, and in the lighthouse's gaze, you can just see it for a moment, that silent sentinel guarding the coastline. However, that's not all that you see. Can I get a perception roll of everyone?
Of course.
Ooh, let's try.
Oh, that was so
16.
almost a 1, but not. Okay.
Ooh.
Perception,
Also
you said?
16.
Yes.
14. No, wait. Perception?
14. That's gonna be a
12.
dirty 20.
I lied.
Nice.
I was
Okay,
reading the
dirty
wrong
20.
line.
All right. Did everybody get above a 13?
Nope, I got a 12.
Do you want to spend your determination?
Sure, yeah. That'll get me a 14.
As you head across the expanse, you will begin to notice that there's more here than you thought. The fireflies that you saw in the grass back inside of Eagle's Rise are thick in the air here, glowing as they float on trade winds above the sea. You can hear the sound of crashing waves beneath you. The song of whales echoing against the mountainside wall. And other things moving in the deep. But that's not all that you see. There's no word that comes to mind that describes them. A herd, a pride, a gamut. Glowing in the night, directly ahead of you, and floating through the air. Tendrils dancing from beneath the fleshy sacks. Is a herd, a pack of horned jellyfish. Floating through the night. They move among the fireflies, swallowing them. And as they do, now these things look like tremendous bubbles, veined sacks, full of gases like helium and other lighter-than-air substances that keep them aloft. A pair of horns jut out from what you'd imagine would be their mouths at the bottom of the sacks. Frilled tentacles dance beneath them, occasionally scooping entire masses of fireflies into their mouths. But as they swallow the firefly, something magical happens. These floating lanterns of light begin to convene. The fireflies will digest slowly, and in the meanwhile, they dance inside of the gullets of these floating sacks of gas, like paper lanterns released into the night sky. The attendant, Finlow, turns and looks at all of you. This is my favorite time of night to come.
Are they harmless?
More or less. I mean, I wouldn't go and try to touch one unless it let you. But to be honest, a lot of the indigenous gnomes around here used to use them as mounts. They can be tamed pretty well, just as long as you don't touch the tendrils.
Really?
Huh.
Interesting.
Huh.
There's actually a.
What are they called?
Oh, they're horned skyfish, jellyfish. Depends what you call them, really. There's all sorts of different names for them. I just call them skyfish.
Amazing sight.
Right?
Varys just up against the glass, just wide-eyed.
How much light are they casting? Like, I'm kind of assuming that Claudette's like sketching them or something.
I think they're casting about like a 10-foot aura, I think.
Okay.
So enough that you can definitely see them in the night. I'm just gonna see, because this is actually based off of a monster inside of one of the Kobold Press ones, and I was gonna show the chat real quick if I can find the photo. I'm trying to remember what they're actually called in the book, because they are just the coolest idea. Were they horned jellyfish, or were they... Okay. I'll check one more thing, and then I'll give up. But you float across the expanse. The world forgotten behind you for just a moment. Ivy, as you do so, a thought creeps unbidden into your head. This would be better if someone else were here. Do you shake that off, or do you embrace that thought?
I think for a bit she embraces it.
You have something else to talk about. That will be good. But as you continue onward...
It was tusked skyfish was the actual name for it.
Was it tusk? Thank you so much for that. Was that the name? That was the name in the book?
Yeah, Tome of Beasts.
It was Tome of Beasts 1? Okay, cool. So guys,
Yeah,
I just want to...
page 391.
Thank you very much. I'm just going to show you this real quick because it's a great image.
Because they're really cool.
So this is what they look like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I like
That
it so
is
much.
So like, let me just
Okay,
make sure.
that's cool.
Yeah, so we had these featured in hold on, just pulling my focus back. We had these featured in Shards and Nirn, but I couldn't resist the chance to use them again because they're really cool, and they actually are used as mounts. You can tame them. Each one of these is a large-sized creature with a pair of horns. They kind of look like floating goldfish bowls made of air, and they're pretty rad. So,
Amazing.
yeah, it's pretty great. You float across the divide, and
Leiden wants to take a look at what everyone else is doing because they're all distracted by this. So she wants to kind of see, like, she just wants to get a sense of where everyone else is at.
what's everybody else doing? Go ahead.
Ivy's
Talfrin
probably-
doesn't super care. Kind of cool. He's looking. But he's not like star-struck or anything. He's cool. Very cool.
Ivy will not be looking at it anymore. She's kind of like off in her own little world. She's kind of looking up and thinking and kind of smiling to herself.
How high are the sides of the gondola before the glass starts?
Before the glass starts, I would say along the edges, it's probably about 2 feet.
Okay. Very is very excitedly near the, like, up against the glass, just
Hello, Raid.
like she's just looking extremely happy, basically. She's just got a really nice smile on her face, and she's just watching these things go.
Why does it do that?
She looks peaceful is the term that I'm looking for.
Nice.
And what's Claudette doing?
I think Claudette is mainly, watching them and, like, taking notes and
Do you
sketching.
Is there any light in the gondola, or is it just what's out there?
There's a small lantern
Okay. So it's not too
dangling overhead, but as the skyfish began to come out, Finlow climbed on top of one of the chairs and turned it down a little, so there's less ambient light inside of here. Now you have dark vision, so you can see clearly inside.
bad. Oh yeah.
As you float across the expanse, the skyfish dance around. And in the distance, you hear something else. And in the darkness, above, just silhouetted... Oh, thank you very much for the gifted subs, guys. I really appreciate that. Up above, you will see... You'll see a family of golden eagles taking flight. Night hunting. Not for jellyfish, mind you. That's a case for indigestion. Oh, thank you very much. And you will see the majestic golden wings silhouetted against the moons above. Full 6 giant golden eagles soaring above. You realize now as you look back, as the lighthouse's light illuminates the water and the side of its cliff face, that there are untold nests dotted along the side of the cliff face, which stands nearly 6, maybe 700 feet above the crashing waves. No, maybe more than that even. The darkness is playing tricks on you, and you've already been traveling for half an hour across the expanse. Either way, there's a reason why that town, that little burg, is called Eagle's Rise. But before long, in what seems like a moment and seems like eternity at the same point, the sound of the motor will carry you across. And with a rumbling, you will slowly slide into dock at the top of Mount Presidio. Now, the mountain in front of you swallows the light with such rapidity that even those of you with dark vision are somewhat unnerved by it. You can smell the rolling coal fumes from the engine behind you. And as you dock on the side of the observatory, you see it is an immense domed structure, a slit down the middle like a giant's eyeball, looking up at the sky. Even from here, you can see that the only light that actually seems to touch the mountain is the bit of star and moonlight that is striking against the huge, huge lens jutting up toward the sky. You dock. Finlow secures things, the pair of clamps from the front of the gondola, and opens the side door for you. Here we are. I'll just I'll go get my supervisor, and then we can get to work.
Fantastic.
A minute later, a portly human man, bald with a wide red mustache and burly, thick eyebrows on top of a pair of goggles, is going to round the corner. Look at the lot of you as Finlow kind of talks and points in your direction. The room that you're in right now is kind of a U-shaped structure overlooking a vast expanse of nothingness. You can see where there are a number of ways to lock the gondola in place here. The door is at the far side of the room. This man in the coat turns and walks over to you right as you're able to step off and get some air. Hello there!
Good evening.
Watch your step. Come on out. Come on out. Good to meet you all. I'm Harry Lanceland.
Hello.
Veritrix, Soulstar.
Good to meet you. Soulstar.
Yes.
Oh, that name sounds mighty familiar. Where do I know that name? You wouldn't happen to be related to Horatio Soulstar, would you?
We Soulstars tend to stick together.
Okay. He was taller than you. But, yeah, fair enough. So, I hear that you're all here to repair the telescope. Fantastic. I really need to get this thing back up. I'm trying to track the migratory patterns of, well, the stars.
Naturally.
But also bits of moon rock. You never know when they fall to Earth and when they, well, I mean, I'm going to etiquette that one out of here. You never know when they fall to the surface. They're always peppering the surface of Elos, and those things are really useful. If you ever, well, I'll show you in a bit. Come with me.
And she will very, very excitedly follow.
Excuse me, did you say stars migrate like birds?
Well, of course. Sometimes the gods get tired and they move their constellations over.
Huh. Interesting.
Tell you what, if you don't believe me, I'll show you. I've got star charts upstairs, as well as some, well, if I might say so, empirical evidence. It's undeniable, really. I'm sorry. So I'm Dr. Harry Lanceland. This is my observatory, at least for the time being. You've met my assistant Finlow. Vashti's around here somewhere. She's a human like myself, so she's a little easier to see around corners. But Finlow, thank you for bringing them over here. Finlow here is going to be a great scientist one day. He's one of the best mechanics that I know. He's the reason that gondola is still working. Stop. No, it's true. But,
Very good job. Very good job.
very good job. Neither of us can get the damn telescope working, though. So come on. Show you around. No, we all good. With that, he'll lead you through the observatory. The observatory is austere, stark, largely constructed out of raw marble. Can I get an Arcana roll off of anybody who would like to?
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
You can
feel
use
like I should use
investigation
my-
if you would prefer.
I want to use my inspiration so that I don't, because I
Dirty
Nah,
20.
I'll
use
use
that
my
yet.
Arcana.
17.
17?
One
All right,
of
that's
those
good too.
things.
21.
21? All right.
Ivy knows magic.
This would be investigation then, I think. I've got better than. Nat 20.
Nat 20. About time.
23 total. It's a good thing I did because my other dice rolled a 3.
Nice. As he leads you through, you're going to see that this entire structure looks to be constructed purely out of this brilliant white and gold-veined marble. However, what you're going to notice as well is that everything here has a slightly domed or slanted or curved corners. There are no corners inside of most of this space at all. No place for the workman to affix the marble into place. No seams. Looking around, you believe that this place was shaped using magic alone. He takes you through a central domed area. A false skyline glitters above you. Magical lights illuminating the blackness of the space above you. Those of you with dark vision will not see it quite as beautifully as those without, for you'll be able to see through the magic trick of it. But it's still beautiful. Little hanging witch lights floating in the air above you. So for example, see what I was talking about. 10 years ago, if you would have looked to the north, you would have seen that constellation. He points up. That is the constellation of the Great Beholder. Okay, see, it's kind of shaped like an eye with that slitted iris, and it has those 8 stars migrating around it. The Great Beholder, Ishara, used to be there. It's an old goddess from the Forgotten Times. But now, Ishara is in the southern hemisphere. There. If you go outside right now, you will see her there, looking down on the world. Over here as well, you see the Great Worm. The Great Worm hasn't changed hemispheres, but he has changed locations. More like facing. And that's honestly the queerest part of it all. It's almost like he's turned his face to watch Elos. I mean, I guess given the state of things, I wouldn't look away either. But still, it's very interesting. And don't even get me started about the 3 sisters.
Why not?
I mean, no. Why not? Because we're not supposed to talk about that. But besides that, you can still, if you know where to look, you can still find Nern's star. If you look to the north, see that? He'll point up at the sky. See those 2 stars that are next to each other? Like a pair of eyes? Right there, the ones that seem to look right at you. One is very, very bright, and the other has a slightly red tinge. Okay. One glitters slightly blue, slightly red. Those are the twin stars of Vela. You can see the storm cloud around her. You look to the south all the way, and he draws his hand across the ceiling. I need you to look over there. This was a hard effect to get with witch lights. Over there. Look on the left. See those there 3 stars. Okay, part of the belt of Gren. Okay, look on the right, the shape of the feather of Kesmerea. Okay, now what I need you to do, and this is very important, I need you to focus on the belt and the feather at the same time. Do your best to look simultaneously at the stars on the left and the right. And can I get a perception roll off of anybody who is doing this?
Claudette is kind of going, I can do it.
13.
19.
I can't believe I'm making you guys
Also
roll
a
for magic
13.
eyes. Roll to do a magic eye.
One.
Did you roll a nat one?
man.
You were gonna get like
Absolutely.
all blotchy, and you know what, Talfrin?
Oh
you,
man, I didn't want to do this in the first place. I don't care.
Okay,
God
Talfrin, for one, you
damn.
think you see a sailboat.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Sorry, I had to do my deep cut Mallrats session, or Mallrats reference. So Talfrin, you're looking up at the sky for 1 minute, but I'll be with you in a moment. The rest of you, as you are looking up, seeing this false sky above you, your eyes begin to cross, and for a moment you see it. It's a diamond shape, like a normal star, stretched too oblong. But it doesn't shine. It's a dark star. A hole in the starlight, in the shape of a diamond, that sucks all light in around it. A part of the black that is blacker than black. For those of you who would like to see what this looks like and have the this probably won't, sorry if anybody's colorblind, but if you go and look up what Stygian blue looks like, you can all go do that right now. Stygian blue. There's a Wikipedia article for it. Please follow the instructions on Stygian blue. That is what you see. I don't believe there's really a physical way to describe this than asking you to do it yourself. For those of you who might be visually impaired, you will see a color that is darker than the darkest blue you can imagine.
This seems super cool, and I want to do it after stream.
Yeah.
Same.
So everybody,
What?
if you want to take, actually,
So excited.
what I'd really like is Talfrin. I'm going to continue with you right now, but everybody
Okay.
else look up Stygian blue and do that. There's also several other colors on the
Let's
wiki
do
article.
it.
But yes,
Telford doesn't care.
Talfrin,
Okay. Yes.
as you glance up at the sky, you can't see this. You start to
Weird
feel a
how
little
this
frustrated.
focus for bullshit. I'm real frustrated.
And that's when you're going to notice that the stars above, they're just witch lights. Moving very gently, like floating down a river. A lazy stream. But then they start to move faster. The sky begins to swirl above you. And you realize that just for a moment, no, that you're not standing anywhere inside of the observatory anymore. You take a step back to get a better look, and you can feel the squelching mud under your feet, the press of the grass as your boot stomps down on it, the swirl of stars and smoke, and you are so tiny, and you are so afraid. You can hear the dogs barking in the distance, and the sound of armor clinking, and the sound of the mechanized suits tearing flesh. And you can hear the screaming and the smoke, and that damn constellation above you looms down and watches you with those red eyes. You are so small. When was the last time you saw your mother? Do you remember?
I was thinking about this recently, actually. He probably very, very vaguely remembers. Very vaguely.
Your mother had a very distinguishing mark on her. A scar. Where was it?
It was on her back, actually.
As you have this flashback, you see her run toward you, dressed in her Cataganian finery. She tries to sweep you up in her arms, but what was the scar like? Long? Wide? Was it made by burning, blade, impact?
It looked like it was a burn scar, kind of about yay big, just right across her back. Kind of peeking out from her.
You heard her yell your
sometimes.
name. Talfrin! She dived toward you. As a suit of Magitech armor loomed into view, two of the kilted warriors of your tribe stepped in. In a second, they were burned to bone. The flame that was not consuming their flesh burst forward and struck toward your eyes, and would have blinded you had your mother not stepped in front of it, taking it on her back. Her hair went up like a lit broom. But she pulled you to safety as the rain slowly extinguished that smell of burning hair and flesh. You don't remember this memory, but you do now. And that is what you are going to pull away from this.
Oh, good. More trauma. I love trauma.
Everyone's favorite.
Yay, trauma.
All right, and so that's what you're going to see. You're just going to have a brief moment. And I'm going to say, Leiden, you are going to see a slight reflection out of the corner of your eye as a little streak of water runs down Talfrin's cheek. It's so quick that anybody else, anybody less perceptive, anybody else who wasn't watching her friends wouldn't have even noticed it. But Talfrin quickly turns away and looks at other things.
Interesting. Noted mentally.
Ah, so you see it? You see it right there?
Oh, let's see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, so that's it's actually 3 stars, but because of the eyes, right? Anyway, you have to know your mythology to really get things like that. But I mean, you should know this. You're a cleric, right? I can see that based on your vestments.
Yes, indeed. How much do I know about this?
Oh,
Actually?
make me a religion roll. You make me a religion roll, and then you can ask me anything you want.
Hey!
Yeah, I was wondering about how much Ivy knew about this and how much it shouldn't be talked about. Like how
So-
much she would know.
At least related to this stuff, I've got a 16 for
A
religion.
16?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I'm not sure how much she knows about the legends and the mythology.
I think pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel free to ask me a question. Generally, the 3 sisters are. It's not that they're not talked about. They're not worshipped in the Empire.
No.
Usually, in places where the 3 sisters are worshipped, the Empire believes that chaos follows.
Okay.
Because basically, they're in a constant feud with each other. It goes
I
back.
was just wondering what Ivy's like reaction would be to hearing him
It's
talk
a
so fervently
little.
about it.
It's not table conversation. It's uncouth.
Okay.
So this is a little unusual to encounter.
This is like going out to, you know what this is honestly like? It's like going to, an observatory or conservatory and hearing some of the raunchier mythology stories shared. You know, and that is when Zeus, fill in the blank, it's Zeus.
Every
Right?
time. All the time.
Just Zeus.
And along came Zeus.
Zeus is his own content warning.
Yep.
Yep. That's accurate.
All right, so.
Interesting.
So that is what you were going to gather from that. But yeah, it's not something that's really talked about. It's a little racy, basically, to talk about this in public. But he figures that you're high-ranking government officials. He's willing to relax a little bit. Well, anyway, I've taken up a lot of your time. I probably should let you do what you got to get to do so that you can head back. We do have some bunks here, but trust me, I would not recommend them if you've got, you probably got a place at the Cockatrice, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that bartender's an interesting fellow. He's my cousin. He's not really the best, Finlow says. He,
Yeah, I've angered him. I dropped his plates.
It happens. He's going through some stuff right now. Try not to let it get to you personally, please. All right. Well, that's enough family drama. Let's go up here and we'll take a look at the telescope, and then we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
He leads you up a long, winding stairwell around the back. that goes up about 3 floors to the peak of this tower. And as he takes you to the door, he is going to turn and with a flourish is going to bow, his lab coat kind of falling around like the tails of a magician's coat. Are you ready for this? Ta-da! And he swings the door open to the largest telescope you have ever seen in your life. It's nearly, 60, 80 feet? Immense. The final lens looking up at the sky through the vaulted split ceiling has to be the size of... a train tunnel. Nearly a 30-foot wide lens. Well, a 30-foot wide far lens. Thankfully, that's not the one that needs to be repaired. It's one of the internal refracting mirrors has been chipped, as well as one of the lenses. If you're half the artificer that I bet you are, Miss Soulstar, I think that you'll have this up and running in no time. I just don't have the mathematical capability to be able to refract the light. I'm more of a cartographer than an inventor.
Fair, yeah. In my family, it's my father's the cartographer, my mother's the one who does everything with the telescopes, and so between the two of them, it was just, it was always, I'd hear everything about telescopes, I'd hear everything about making maps and star maps and looking at different stars, constellations. That's why I have a really nice constellation hairpin. It's from my mother.
Oh, it's
and
really
it's great.
sweet.
And I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
Right.
And I'm really glad
Let's
they
take a
sent you
look.
down instead of one of your brothers or cousins. Honestly, and I don't want to sound old, and I don't want to sound at all sexist when I say this, but it really, whenever you're dealing with light or colors, it really helps to have a woman's eye.
Yeah, especially
You're
something
just-
like this.
Right. You just will see things that especially my eyes. He pulls off the goggles and holds them up. You can see they are prescription. Anyway, please, get to work. I won't hold you down, or hold you up. We're sorry. It's been a long day. Can I get coffee or tea for any of you? I've also got some cookies. We call them biscuits out here.
Tea?
Uh,
Tea's
Apps.
good.
We have black and still have the green. We still have
Black.
the green. Black.
All
okay,
of
so-
black.
And cream and sugar. Or milk and sugar if it's tea.
Just
Yeah.
black.
I'll take a coffee, thank you. Just black.
Sounds good. Well, please, grab a seat wherever you'd like to. And if there's anything else I can do, we have a fantastic meteorite exhibit around as well. It's okay, it's a little small. It's more of a lab than anything, but it's, meteorites under glass. You can't really fight that. All right.
I would love to see it.
Sure.
Sure, yeah, we'll take a look.
They'll idly entertain you, is what's going to happen for the next next probably 2
Claudette
hours.
will grill him with questions, just very excitedly.
Nice.
So what do you want me to do to repair the telescope, Kelly?
I think that what I'd really like you to do is make me a. I mean, the role for this doesn't really exist, so let's say.
Right.
Are you trained in Arcana?
Let's see what I.
What are your
have.
proficient skills? Oh, you know what? You do have. What tool proficiencies do you have?
Artisans and smiths.
Okay. Yeah, both of those would be fine.
And proficient in sleight of hand and arcana.
Okay. So
Right off the bat, I only have 2 proficiencies. I thought I'd have more than that.
no, I don't think so, because you only get so many for class and background.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's
there we
much
go.
smaller, and because you get so many other things, you don't get as many proficiencies.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
what I would like you to do is go ahead and make me first a tool proficiency roll for your artisan's tools. Basically, to
Okay.
just kind of like dissect this and lay out all your pieces, put them on the mat. Don't let the screws fall down like the little holes in the floor.
All right. So that is going to be a 17.
Okay. With a 17, you can kind of address the problem. Yeah, it looks like one of the refracting lenses has snapped, You think probably because they were observing something with too much light and basically it heated up. And the glass of the lens just couldn't take it. I mean, this is basically a death ray if the light hits it just right. So, and then you'll actually notice that whoever calibrated this last seems to have installed one of the lenses in backwards, which is probably what led to the problem in the first place. It will still function correctly, but these are heat treated unidirectionally. That's something you'll have to switch as well. And then finally, it looks like one of the mirrors, the heat from this did kind of knock it off center, so some of the reflecting mirrors are not able to gather the correct amount of focus, basically.
Okay.
And it's been a long time since I've done astronomy, so I'm pulling that last part out of my butt.
That's fair.
So,
Sorry.
So, to do all the math, let's go ahead and make an Arcana roll.
Coming right up. I'm going to go ahead and throw my inspiration at this.
Sounds good. If you get a nat 20, you'll be able to fix this in less than an hour.
Well, it's not a nat 20, unfortunately, but it is a 22.
A 22? All right. So, with a 22, it'll take you about an hour to do this, but your work is going to be not only good, it is going to be, in your own humble opinion, flawless. Which is extra funny because inside of the case of this immense telescope is a log diary. Stuck to the inside, pasted against the metal like it should. A place for the maker's marks to be left. Basically, a life record of all of the maintenance on this device. As you finish the job and look through the telescope, first, just to do a quick check, you'll need to actually get probably the scientist in here to really take it for a spin. You check the maker's marks, and as you do, you'll see that the last initials signed here are CS. The person who installed that singular lens in back to front instead of front to back was your mother.
Very's gonna sign her initials underneath. And she's gonna log that away to make fun of her mother next time she sees her.
That sounds fantastic.
Because that is hilarious.
So the rest of the party has been taking on a tour of moon rocks and other things throughout the exhibits. Is there anything in particular you would have wanted? The tea is solid. That's one of the few things that the Empire pays to get out here. The coffee is... Actually, the coffee's pretty good, actually. It's not espresso, but it's, it's a smooth, highly acidic, bold coffee with kind of, if it was this world, I would say it kind of has like probably a Jakarta flavor to it. For those of you who know like Indonesian coffee versus Starbucks barista. Hey, for like a day. That's a story for later. But it has like that more acidic body to it. Yes, Robin, you have a question?
I think Leadham was first.
Oh, well, basically, Leda's just going to drink the tea, and then she's going to try and drink as much coffee as she can.
Okay. You will be able to drink 14 coffee.
Cool.
Okay, well, I think
That's a lot of coffee.
14 ounces
14
or something.
ounces of coffee.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll probably go, I'm assuming they're going to give, like, the smaller cups. Like, it's not a big cup because it's, like, you know?
And
I don't know.
I've just
Feel
started
like
the
for the
chat
guests.
talking about coffee, and someone brought up Arabic coffee, and I'm just like, bing. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyway, so Leden's wired.
All right, so you're wired.
Perfect.
You could wait. It's Wake the Dead coffee. That's going to be Leden's retirement goal. Is she's going to start a Wake the Dead coffee company?
There's a Death Wish coffee company. Just
This is-
not
this
to
is true.
plug or
There?
anything, but
Oh my.
Yeah. Still
I'll say
happening.
Ivy's probably most curious about the stars. So she's probably like not as much interested in the meteors and meteorites. She's more like, I want to see more star charts.
Sure.
I wanna know
He'll
about
show you through
stars.
some star charts. Do you want to see older ones or newer ones?
Probably newer ones.
Newer ones?
Yeah.
Sure. He'll show you a bunch of newer ones that basically like the constellation of Basir is a particularly lovely one. The sky above is basically divided up into the two hemispheres, but also into the two categories, the Sharsa and the Eri, being the two predominant sides of the pantheon of gods that are up there. But there are also a number of other monsters and creatures up there as well that are not particularly well divided as such, as well as some of the titans that are represented in the stars as well.
So when did the shift happen between the older gods and the newer gods?
Oh, many, many thousands of years ago, but I let me see if he actually knows this story. Oh, he there seems to have been some sort of transmogrifying event back in the day that led to the death of the old pantheon. Minus one, of course, he says, gesturing over to Leiden.
The orphan.
Thus his name, the orphan. In
Yes.
But I mean, you all know the story, right? And then the gods found the world. The two tribes of gods met on the barren, newly virgin world, finding only a suckling babe remaining from the previous world, and thought this place was good, and so they made it their home, bringing their friends and loved ones to it as well, and populating this new and untamed land with magic and wonder. Etc., etc., etc. I didn't. Did that answer your question? Was that?
Yes, I think so.
Great.
It's very interesting to
Oh,
think
well-
stars move and that.
I'm actually more interested myself, though, in the moon. The missing one. So once upon a time, up in the sky, there were 3 moons around Elos. And from my calculations, right now, they're the 2. Right? Each of them, quite large. In fact, if you looked up and at any given time held a gold coin at about half arm's length, it's about the size of the moon above you, usually, right? By my calculations, were you to look up some 10 to 15, maybe even 20,000 years ago, the traces of the third one that we see, the soft belt of debris that floats and glitters in the sky on clear nights, would have been as if holding a buckler at arm's length. Lee, do you have a buckler? You use a small shield, right?
Yeah, she has a shield.
Can I see your shield?
Yeah, she'll hand it over.
He'll reach into his pocket and pull out an imperial gold coin. And he will place them in such a way that it is obvious that the moon that he describes is 10, 20, 50 times larger than the ones that dangle in the sky. An entire world.
What makes you think it was so large?
There's still bits of it up there that you can see, and there's a curvature that exists, a natural curvature that if you observe, I've been using one of the devices that I've installed onto the telescope that is able to refract just a portion of light, and I've been monitoring the way that the light refracts and the signatures that are provided back to the equipment. Everything in nature offers we absorb light by looking at things. Everything has a distinct color. Everything has a distinct texture. Like, for example, if I look in your eyes are very... What color are Leiden's eyes?
I think they're blue, like a very pale
Your eyes
blue.
are very, very pale blue. Right? However, if you look at things under certain types of lenses, you can detect... and he's basically going to explain spectrography to you. That's a hard word to say when you're tired. But spectrography. But yes, he's kind of making a magic spectrographer. Cannot speak tonight. Basically, and you guys know what that is in real life, right? So basically what it is that every element has its own different light signature and pattern that you can use to test what something made of based on like a color wheel almost. It's really neat. I've done it in a
I've
lab
used
before.
them. They're cool. They're cool.
They're cool, right?
Fun to use.
Because
love
I
them.
actually I did geology for a little bit. It was weird. Did a lot of scratching stuff. Yeah, Mo's hardness scale for the win.
Oh, yeah.
So he's basically going to say that judging by the chemical composition that he's able to observe, he's seeing that there are definitive layers in what is floating around. As well as it appears that the mantle, crust, and core are made of different minerals and materials, and that by using this, he's been able to chart over the last 10 years that some of the larger pieces that are still there not only have a verified curvature, but also have... he's basically putting a jigsaw together backwards, I guess is what I'm saying. These are some wild leaps, and the more he talks about it, the more mad scientist he sounds.
I think Claudette is highly entertained.
But it does sound like a nice fanciful fairy tale. Whether or not it's true is beside the point. At the very least, at one point, that moon was much larger, and it was in one piece. I'm really curious. Because we don't know what happened to it. It's like everybody just forgot.
They did.
We should probably go check in on your friend.
Probably.
And as they head back into the main room, Very, you were just finishing up putting the initials in. How's it going in here?
All done.
That was quick.
Yeah, well, I just had to fix my mother's mistake, that's all.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah, she put one of the lenses in backwards, and of course they're only heat treated on one side, and so you were getting an issue where it was heating up and broke a lens, broke a mirror, all that because my mom put it in wrong.
Usually it's well, I'm so happy that I had a soul star to fix a soul star's mistake.
The only ones that can.
Now, you ready to do you want to do the calibration now? I mean, it's a perfect stargazing night.
Yes, for sure, please.
All right. Now, as you head up to it, Very, I need to know, are you going to just start, like, reorganizing it, or are you going to take a glance through what was already being observed?
I'm going to take a glance through what was already being observed.
Okay. Now, the way that the telescope was already being observed was low on the horizon. And quite low, actually. About as low as this particular telescope can get. It was pointed kind of north by northwest? Oh, north by northeast, actually. And as you take a glance through, can you make me a perception roll?
Yeah. 18.
18. Looking through, you are going to see that this is not pointed at the sky at all. This is pointed down, 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 onto the land. You're looking at an immense waterway between old alpine growth forests reaching skyward. And also down there, fire. Fire is licking upward. And you are going to notice that there's fire spreading everywhere. An old, tall building, a castle, a fortress, stands tall. It's on fire. Do you focus the lens?
Yeah.
Okay. As you do, you are going to see the spires of an ancient Emrysian fort to the north, Kazluxia, being sieged and burned to the ground. Arrows fly through the sky, lit by arcane fire. Magic hurls across the battlefield, explosions of fire, blue and green flame. Suits of Magitech armor turn and unload shot after shot into raging Cadoganian tribesmen. You're watching the fortress fall in real time. What do you do?
Christine, had you mentioned anything to the party about Kazluxia and why you were interested in it?
Yes. I think I've said a few times that, oh yeah, I'd like to stop by Kazluxia as my brother's stationed there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I do remember that. Okay, I just wanted to double check. So, at that, for anybody who's watching her, Very is going to, like, very visibly, like, she's gonna, like, jump back from the eyepiece. With probably, like, a very, shocked expression, and turn to Claudette and say,
"Are you okay? Did you bang yourself?"
You should probably... You said your brother's at Kazluxia, right?
Yes.
She's gonna look very confused. Like, this is a very odd thing for you to bring up.
It doesn't really look like it's there anymore.
Sorry, what?
The
What does that
telescope's pointed towards it,
Uh,
and it's currently under siege.
Ivy's gonna turn to the scientists and stare them down.
What?
We do investigative work for the Empire, of course. When we're not using the telescope as for its original scientific purpose, we use it to do looks into Cadoganian and Avelsinian territory. It was we were monitoring some of the situation when it broke, actually.
Did you send word?
Well, yes, I sent word that the telescope had broken. It's been broken for weeks now.
And you were just monitoring Kazluxia?
When it broke, yes. I don't think I like your tone.
I'm not. I don't have any tone.
Ivy always has a tone.
It's the Ivy tone.
It's the Ivy
true.
tone.
Well, hi, Raid. Right.
I'd like to insight check this
Yes, you may.
scientist.
Yeah, can I do that as well?
Yeah, totally.
Varric, can I take a look? And Leiden will step forward.
Very will step away from the eyepiece and direct you
Oh.
to use it.
Leiden will look through it.
I'm
What
gonna
do
spend
you-
my determination on this too.
Sure.
I
That's
would give
gonna
an
make it.
unnatural 20 if I could do insight as well.
That's gonna be a
That's
22.
Nice.
And Kelly, I watched you scribble that out.
Yeah, no, I saw. I looked at the map. I looked at
Yeah.
a while ago. I was like,
Oh no!
So for
I
those of you, the
watching.
players have access to just like the world map on Roll20, and Christine watched me slowly scratch out Kazluxia with the pen.
Oh no!
And
And
put like a
little-
little fire thing on it.
yeah.
Yeah. Fire!
Oh, the fire.
This fortress
Wait.
on fire.
All right. So real quick, as you were inciting him, what did you all get?
22.
20.
20. There's something a little bit off about it, Talfrin. You're not 100% sure what it is, but he's acting a little defensive.
Yeah.
Ivy, you're going to get the sense with your 22.
Yeah.
There's something that he's not mentioning about this, but you think both of you think that he's telling the truth to an extent. You think there's a little bit more, and Ivy, you think that he's holding back something that he doesn't want to talk about. You don't think that he's probably going to give without extreme pressure, but who knows what you can manage. You're a special person. Claudette, what are you and Leiden doing?
Leiden's looking
Claudette is
through.
probably just endeavoring to not have a hysterical meltdown.
Okay, Leiden.
Leiden's gonna turn, like, once she looks through and sees that, she's gonna turn back, look at Claudette, and say, the letter. Is this what it meant?
In your head, you hear the words of the letter again. Do not look to the light. The sun sets and will rise again. Test the girl's mettle. I would like, Christine, can I have Claudette make me an insight roll, please, using your feat?
Oh, okay.
Basically to solve a riddle? Or a,
I think actually the linguist feat doesn't really work that way.
does it not?
No, it's you can create ciphers.
Oh, okay. But it
is
allows
what
you
it
to
was.
understand code.
I
So-
misremembered it.
All
at
right,
the
so
time.
both of you, you can make me an insight roll, or you can aid another, and one of you can take point. Your call.
I can aid. I think your insight's probably better than mine. Or maybe not. Mine's
not
plus
necessarily.
7.
You're the wisdom one.
That's true. Sure.
So I will aid Leiden, I think.
Sure. So I'll roll with advantage.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And not brilliant. That's a 15.
A 15.
Yeah. I rolled a 6 and an 8.
Pay no attention to Kazluxia.
Oh.
Things come and things go. We can always take it again.
Well,
Keep
I
her
did
busy.
Hear that troops have been moved away. Maybe he was in one of those groups.
Maybe. Or they meant to let it fall.
Well,
As they're kind of talking, Ivy is slowly and cautiously taking a somewhat defensive stance, moving towards the scientist, trying to
I'll
be
back her up.
stealthy-ish, not like super aggressive, but like she's starting to move towards him.
well, whatever's going on over there, you should probably make sure to reset the telescope as best as possible. He needs to be back up to all of the correct telemetry. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to you at all, actually. He's turned back to speak with Very. While you're here, I need to make sure that this is back up, or else my work's not going to be able to continue. Miss Soulstar?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you going to be able to continue?
Yes, let's look at it.
I understand that this is very disturbing, but there's nothing that we can do about it right now from our vantage point. We're scientists.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try
let's-
and give him like the most pathetic look ever, like with persuasion or something.
Sure.
Make him
go
feel
ahead.
a little bad.
Okay, you're just trying to
Just make him feel bad about
Oh,
saying
sure.
that
Make
to
me a
her right when
persuasion
he's
roll.
Can
heard
I
that
give you
all her
some-
brothers are.
Also gonna put hand on shoulder to like comforting sympathy for Claudette.
Okay.
She has the perfect teary eyes.
You got a nat 20.
Yes.
He's gonna shut up at this point. Talfrin and Ivy, what do you do at this point? You've advanced. He's not even paying attention to you, really.
I think at this point,
Talfrin's gonna let Ivy take point because she's obviously sniffed out a bit more than he has.
yeah, I'm just wondering, like, with her training with the Empire, would she know to get involved with something like this, or would this be something where she's been taught to back off?
It depends if you, honestly, you would be taught. This is political. This is your training would say do not get involved. What are you going to really do, though?
Yeah, I think she's slightly worried for Claudette.
This is the
Damn,
problem
you
with
guys-
making friends.
I know, it's so
no.
difficult. Her training's like,
Yeah, no,
here, but
Claudette probably
she's-
talked really excitedly about after this going up to Kaslexia.
yes, I know, and I think she can like read the.
So I
The
think she hasn't seen her
pain in
brother for several
Claudette.
years. They've just had letters.
Yep.
So she's gonna take out her dagger and kind of just walk up behind him.
Okay. Are you gonna grab him?
Yes.
Okay. You do not have to make a roll for that. I'd like you to make me an intimidation roll with advantage, though.
Okay, cool.
That advantage is from probably Talfrin. What are you doing?
He's coming up behind her. If she is going for it, he's going too. Still behind though, but backing up and being like he can't run, kind of thing.
So I think she's grabbed him from behind.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Um,
Kind of like
Still gonna kinda
she'll
grab the
like
eggs.
put her hand like kind of in like over in front of his chest and then kind of have the dagger kind of not poking
little
him,
from
but
the
like
front.
he can
Yeah.
feel the dagger at his side,
Okay.
kind of
Gotcha.
thing.
he'll kind of step into view from the front.
I think
Well-
Claudette is gonna have turn to lead in too.
Apparently, Ivy's very, very, very intimidating. That's gonna be a nat 20.
And that's 20. Beautiful.
So that's just 20 because I have no intimidation apparently.
Do you not?
No, I have zero
How?
charisma. I have zero
Absolutely killed
charisma.
it.
Charisma is my dump
That's-
stat.
That's funny,
Oh,
though.
that's fair.
I have 10 charisma. And I took proficiency in deception and persuasion, but not intimidation. So Ivy's got nothing. So it's gonna be
Okay.
20.
All right. So as you grab him from behind,
And she'll say, "You're not telling us the whole story."
no, what are you doing? Please, leave me alone. Let me go.
What aren't you telling us?
Nothing. There's nothing. It's the
There's
telescope
there's
broke
something. Why did it break?
because it was installed incorrectly. You heard
Why
her.
were you looking at Klaslexia so much?
I wasn't.
Who
I-
Was.
And where are you putting the blade in?
kind of at his like underneath his ribs on his side, kind of just like
Here we
poking
go.
it, not drawing blood, but she'll start pressing harder.
Okay, all right. I wasn't the one looking through it when it broke.
Who was?
He'll take a deep breath and... No, I can't. They'll...
Tell us now. And she will start pressing harder.
It was Acario Merovic. Claudette, that is your cousin. That's Virgil's son.
Tell us more.
He came here 2 weeks ago. No, 3, to check on conditions and make sure that everything was good. We were here to... During the day, we monitor conditions. At night, we're able to use the science as it should be. He said that he was planning an invasion of Katogain. Then the lens broke. It was being used improperly during the day. He wasn't supposed to look at that vantage point that time of day. It would have brought too much attention, too much light in.
Almost like he didn't want anyone to be able to see what's going on.
I don't know anything about that, but I sent for aid as soon as possible so that we could monitor and keep this place safe. If the telescope had been operational, we would have been able to see any troop movements.
Yes.
I did my duty to the Empire.
At that, she'll kind of back off on the blade. She'll just release it a little bit.
He's gonna kind of fall to his knees and keep breathing very, very deeply.
She'll kind of like kneel down and like stare at him in the eyes and like kind of not death glare, but she'll like glare at him and be like, "Thank you for your honesty. You do good work. I appreciate your service." And she'll get up.
My good service is going to get me killed. Merovic belongs to the Order. You would do well to forget everything you just heard if you don't want them after you.
What now?
Order?
I was gonna say, have I heard that word before?
Same time.
You can make me a history roll with disadvantage if you like.
Would like to.
I would like to.
I absolutely don't know.
10.
7? No, sorry, 9. That's a 9.
$22.
22.
Damn!
Okay.
Dang!
Claudette,
16 and 18.
You've heard rumors that there is a secret cabal that exists inside of the political elite and military inside of Emrys that basically kind of like the Freemasons or a secret society that actually runs things behind the scenes. One part secret society, one part secret police. There are always rumors of people being able to vanish people in any empire. You had heard one night in your youth something about this order. These special officers. You had no idea that Acario Merovic was one. But you heard over drunken conversation once, some 5-6 years ago, that there are 2 members of this secret group that you do know. One is named Virgil Merovic, your uncle. The other is Crispin Belmont.
Of course.
At least it was before he retired. They will. If you let a word of that slip, they'll come for you. At that, you'll hear a voice at the door. Excuse me? Is everything all right? A tall woman, human, in her late 20s, blonde hair pulled back into a bun, will cut the tension. A tray of cookies and tea. Would
Let's get this telescope reset.
would anyone like refreshments?
Uh,
I'm sorry, I was trying to refill. I'm Vashti, one of the lab assistants.
Thank you.
Biscuits would be nice.
Please, they're really good with the black tea, she says, and sets them down. Sorry to interrupt.
Insight, how much does it seem like she heard?
Probably a decent amount. She looks very awkward right now.
How
Right.
sincere does her awkwardness look, if I can insight it?
Sure, yeah.
Not natural 20 again.
Looks like she's trying to defuse the situation more than anything.
Okay. Fair.
But she's honestly, you get the sense that she doesn't care one way or another.
Oh, alright. Fair enough.
You see right through her. It is a feigned, oh, is everything okay? I'm sorry to be awkward. It's quite all right. Thank you, Vashti. I really appreciate you being here, he says, and she'll nod and back away slowly. I'll go back to work sorting samples then, if that's all right. Just leave whatever you leave it here. I'll clean it up in the morning. She'll nod and back into the hallway behind her. What do you all do?
Ian's gonna eat some cookies.
Very's gonna get to work on recalibrating the telescope.
Make me an Arcana roll real quick.
She's like, I don't know what's happening, but I know my telescopes, and that's great, and that's a 17.
Sounds good. 17.
Claudette's just gonna be pacing back and forth, putting all this together, trying to work out what this means.
Leiden will hand Claudette a cookie.
Claudette's gonna actually just knock it away. She's like incredibly upset, but also really angry. Because she's starting to put stuff together and be like...
I think Ivy will go up to the scientist, Harry, and be like, we saw nothing, you saw nothing. Right?
I saw nothing. If this is something... If this is... you should be careful about exposing anything. There are bigger wheels than... Please... fix the telescope and I'll have Finlow bring you back. What'd you get on your roll, Very?
17.
17? As you plop back down into the seat and look, you'll get one more view of the top of Casluxia, collapsing and falling. And then you gaze at the stars. It takes 5 minutes, that's all, to reset the focus. To make sure that it all works correctly. It just takes an artisan's touch. You're able to do it. And it's perfect. You saw so many people die. And the light for it fall. It wasn't the falling that sticks in your mind, but the plume of debris and dirt that rose up from it. You could almost hear the choking of the soldiers as the battlefield was encased in the black dust.
With that, because that's a lot on her mind, and she wants to do something that's not thinking about that. So she's gonna think back to on the train she met that half elf, who asked her if she could light a small offering on seeing the golden star.
Okay.
So she would like to train it on that and do that because that seems like something nice to do.
The golden star is a lovely, beautiful star about as big around as your pinky nail, glittering up in the sky. As you look at it through the telescope, it is one of the most transfixingly beautiful celestial bodies that you have ever seen. For a brief moment, it gives you peace. You light an offering to it, and will feel a soft light glow down on your flesh. Very, you are going to gain a 24-hour boon. The next time you have to make an Arcana check or an intelligence-based check of any kind, you will have advantage. So probably shouldn't write that down. It's just gonna next 24 hours, but
yeah, but that way I'll remember it for next game.
fair.
Okay, well, your telescope's reset and calibrated.
Good. That's
Just be careful where you point it. Although, with the lens in correctly now, it shouldn't matter, anyways. No,
good.
either. So.
Well, thank you for coming. I greatly appreciate your time here.
Mm-hmm.
Be safe, all of you. Finlow? Yes, sir. Coming. Finlow will arrive at the door. Leadin, the cookies here aren't particularly tasty, actually. They're a bit too dry, and there's just not enough sugar. Maybe they were made with stevia. There's just a taste to them.
Bleh.
It's just that kind of sharp, slightly bitter taste.
Do I recognize it?
You can make me a perception roll.
Sure. Oh, I sure don't. Well, maybe I do. My perception's not that good. It's a 10.
Okay. You're gonna feel overall like, I mean, honestly,
It's been a long day.
you're fine.
It's
You're
kinda
actually
draining.
feeling, despite all the coffee, you're feeling a little tired. Like you're just worn out.
Well, the sooner we get back to the mainland, the happier I'll be.
I have hoped that your brother was sent away, Claudette.
Do you all allow yourselves to be led back to the gondola?
Mm-hmm.
The trip back is silent. And almost sensing your pain, the hooked skyfish, or the horned skyfish, are no longer out. Only the expanse of black, occasionally punctuated by the sweeping of the lighthouse, greets you. It is a long and painful voyage. And before long, you will find yourselves back at the cockatrice. Try as you might to stay awake and fight it, sleep still comes. But none of you will have a restful night. What started out as beautiful ended in tragedy. And as you awaken the next morning, a bit later than intended, breakfast hall is abuzz. A fisherman is talking loudly. It's almost 9 a.m. Checkout is at 10. That's where I saw him. There, floating in the waves. It's unbelievable, really. Why would he do such a thing? I don't know. Why would he do that? There's a big bustle at the front of the room. What do you do? You try to listen in?
Leiden absolutely wants to
what's
listen
going on
in.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ivy will kind
Claudette
of like.
is pretty sure she knows what she's about to hear.
Bloated. Like he choked. Alright. But I know a suicide when I see one. By the time I got to him, the fangfish had already eaten the bits off his face. Barely recognise him. If not for this, he tosses a little metal badge onto the table. See, I ain't full of shit now, am I? Right there. Glancing down, you will see an imperial insignia. Dr. Harry Lancelin. Does anybody ask what happened?
What happened here? What?
Oh, good, another story.
What happened to him?
You bought my breakfast and I'll tell you.
Yeah, sure.
I was out fishing, right? Going for croup right at the beginning of the morning, right when they're just waking up and they're groggy and fucking stupid. Well, I found one. Bloated fat body right there next to Mount Presidio. You know how he's got that overlook next to that big lensy thingy? Well, the scientist, the fat one with the red hair who's in here all the time, found him bobbing in the water. Little fangfish had already crawled inside of his eye sockets. Eat his face right up. Well, it was him. I can tell. See, goes veg. Got the body in for investigating, for funerating. It's too bad too. Not a bad guy. Contacted the light earlier today. Nice girl, pretty one, the one with the dark skin. Said he left a suicide note last night. Poor blighter, and hopefully the next one we get in here will be a bit more fun.
You said they had the body for investigating and for rites? I'm a cleric of the orphan.
Yeah, they've got it over at the town hall.
I'd like to go take a look.
Suit yourself, just buy me my breakfast.
Yeah, of course. How much would that be for?
Like 2 copper.
Yeah, she'll toss it down.
A few minutes later, you find yourself in town hall. It's a meager structure that doubles as the church at times. Symbol of the orphan is hanging overhead, and as you approach, one of the secretaries of the town, of course there's only 2 of them, including the mayor, being a secretary and a notary themselves, will let you in. Your credentials will speak for themselves. Standing over the body, it is a horrific sight indeed. The flesh has been completely peeled away, revealing the bone and meat beneath. The scalp, once sweaty and ringed with a horseshoe of red hair, is now nothing but white skull. However, the fish were only able to get to the exposed bits. They're not particularly good at tearing cloth. What do you do?
Ivy would like to investigate the body.
Okay.
Did you come with? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. She feels really guilty right now.
Leiden will want to make sure that the room is that there's no one else in the room, like none of the people from the town, just asking for privacy.
I would like a medicine roll.
Absolutely. Let's see if my dice fail me now. Don't fail me now. Oh my fucking god, they failed me.
Did they fail you? Well, is Ivy helping you?
I was gonna say I could.
Are you helping? If you're
Yeah.
helping, then
helping.
I rolled out with advantage.
Yeah.
I can roll another dice. Thank goodness.
Yeah, no, that's why like she would be helping.
Okay, because otherwise it was going to be a 1. Right. So anyway, the actual roll is going to be a 22.
Okay, a 22.
Yeah.
All right, with a 22, as you investigate, you are going to draw some blood using one of Ivy's syringes. But more than that, you're going to notice a couple of things. A quick check of the body reveals his lungs are barely full of water at all.
I didn't drown.
He was dead by the time he hit the ground.
But I figured.
And after a quick check, you'll find that there's something sweet and bitter smelling. On the water, you're able to squeeze out of his gut. And moreover, a quick incision, because Leiden isn't squeamish, right?
Oh god, no.
It's a quick autopsy.
Mhm.
All you have to do is you disrobe him, you cut into him, checking a bit of blood. And this is actually a quick incision into his side.
Mm-hmm.
You force the needle in and draw some fluid out of his bladder. Spraying it onto the table. You can smell a bitter aroma rising to the air. It smells not unlike what was masked in sugar and almonds and butterscotch in the cookies. And I'd like you both, if you can make me a... does anybody have proficiency with a poisoner's kit? Congratulations, I'd like you to make me this roll.
Sweet. I'm gonna put my determination on it too.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay, so that I had that proficiency twice then,
Yes.
right? Yeah, okay, so that's gonna be 19.
Drow poison. A simple compound that renders the victim asleep.
That's what I have.
It is exactly what you have.
mushrooms.
Works great through wounds, but if ingested, it's a little slower. But very effective. In fact, the only thing that really can counter it well, significant doses of stimulants. Like having 3 or 4 cups of coffee in a row, already coursing in your bloodstream before that. Leiden. Besides that, you nod off to a blissful sleep, and once sleep takes you with drow poison, you are absolutely numb and paralyzed. Looking down at the body, smelling that bitter aroma on the air. You are undoubtedly aware that this was not suicide. This was a murder. And above you, as we pan outside of the hall, a second murder takes flight. A group of ravens, headed to preordained locations, with messages bound around their legs, have already announced what they know about you 5. But that is something that we'll have to figure out next game. But hey, congratulations. You've hit another stage in the, this empire sure is interesting, which is worth level 5.
Woo! Yeah!
There you go, guys.
That
Level
is
5.
interesting.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
Yes, this empire. Interesting.
It's great, right?
No.
What is this?
I do appreciate that Leiden manages to avoid poisoning by drinking 14 coffee.
That's why I had you roll with
14
advantage. I hit Amy up in
coffee.
private chat for that one. I was
Oh,
like,
I
no.
figured as much.
Nice.
After you'd said the bitter, I was like, oh, I bet those are poison.
Oh, yeah,
I was
no, I
like,
didn't.
cookies, yep, poisoned.
All right, so I want everybody to roll their hit points right now. Remember,
Oh, yes.
1s and 2s are test rolls because they suck.
Gotcha.
Oh, fucking-
Gotcha.
Roll a d12. Roll.
6.
What a D12. That's wild. I just have a
That's
D8.
Did you roll? Did you roll a 12?
I rolled
No,
a 2.
9.
That's still pretty good.
It's still pretty good.
Okay, it's a 4.
All right.
I'm at 52. Beautiful.
All right, come on, D6, don't fail me.
Roll a
So
1.
it is that.
I'm at 45.
All right.
5, that's not bad.
That's literally the second best you can get.
There we go.
Oh, boy.
Well, chat, I have to get like quick level ups. Yep, but I gotta get them where I need them so that they can survive. So, so
Pity level.
it's a pity level. Well, you guys were gonna get a level when you got to Cordist, but that's gonna be like midway through next episode, so I didn't really feel like it. So I'm like,
Fair.
I think
Woo,
that
proficiency bonus increase!
this is true. So some fun things that everybody
Same.
gets at this level. I have no idea what Ivy gets because Blood Hunter doesn't exist in paper.
I think I don't get much. I think I pretty much just get my second attack.
Nice. Talfrin gets a second attattack. Talfrin, you also gain plus 10 movement speed.
Oh,
I go
if don't
fast.
get
I
anything.
gotta go
Everyone's
fast, guys.
proficiency bonus goes up by 1.
Yay!
Yay!
Oh, I get my
Hunter.
Destroy Undead.
Ooh, that's
Stars,
useful.
1 half.
I get 2 second level spell slots.
And you get 3rd level spell slots, Amy.
I do.
Yeah. Which means that Claudette gets 3rd level spell slots, which means Claudette has Fireball if she wants. Christine, you've never had Fireball before.
Oh no!
What?
My Hemocraft die goes up to a
I
D6.
Oh shit!
So when I roll for my Crimson Right and shit, I might lose
have
up to
more
6 hit
HP.
points now.
No.
More HP.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Ah.
Okay,
It's fine.
two
It's fine.
second-
Everything's fine.
2 third level slots. Sweet. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh man, this is getting interesting.
Getting
Thankfully,
interesting.
Ivy hasn't given her name to anyone in this town yet, but the description.
Oh,
of
gee,
her
let's see.
probably-
Blood Hunter, Tiefling.
Yeah, I
It's not like-
know. It's bad.
All
It's
right.
bad.
It's fine. we
real
won't
bad.
be here for long.
It's fine. Everything's fine. How are you?
Fine.
All right, so folks, that's going to be it for us tonight here on the Reign of Emrys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed this game. Did you guys enjoy playing? Was this fun for you?
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
great. I
Yeah, it
love
was wild.
So much like story tonight. It was so great.
Yeah. there's
It's
a lot of
just
plot
world
drop.
building. It's just world
World
building.
building.
It's my thing. I like it. All right, so folks, we are going to call it here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what we do, give us a follow, give us a sub if you have the disposable income, or hey, give us a sub on YouTube because I love seeing those numbers go up. We also have a Patreon if you are just rolling in dough or want your name at the end of the YouTube videos and the podcast when I finally upload more of those. But yeah, be great to have you there. And at the very least, come to our Discord and hang out. And that's for Twitch, YouTube, everybody. Come to the Discord. Be nice. Have fun. It'll be great. Someone post that. And with that, we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.